away there to Hobart. Inside 50, Augustine takes it. The ball's a bit too hot there for Tyler Penwright. Still at half 40 for Clarence, back towards Barwick. He goes in hard, taken over by Hines. Tough nut, he gets his left foot pick up into the wing towards Gorwagon. His handball's smothered. Swinton does well. He gets tackled from behind there by Gorwagon. Ball up. Luke Swinton was the hero last year here, boys. That winning goal. A few seconds before the siren to Clarence a famous victory. The middle of last season here at Windsor Park. And the ball up. They may emerge here, the Roos. They do. Towards half forward. Mark taking on his chest there by Penrite. Slips as he kicks. Wrestle there with Augustine and House. House too strong. And ball to Harper. Defensively now to Wright. And Wright will clear for the Blues.
Wright's kick, nicely taken though. Going back with the flight. That was Preshaw. Comes inside now, the spearing kick. Just over the head of the intended target there. The boys can come away. Handball towards Holt. Has to go and get the ground level. Captain's the advantage of Cole from it. He goes over the top. Pick up towards the other wing. Making the diving mark. It's Reno's field in the end. That opened the path there for Thorpe. His handball couldn't find the target. Myers going in willingly early on. Here's Green getting ground level. Could have got one in the back. Umpire said play on. Ball into the Launceston forward 50 now. Under all sorts of pressure in the Roos defence. This handball. No one in particular. It was looking for their out. Made a tackle. Ended up with leader. Roos go inside forward 50 again, taking a nice mark. It's Garland. 35 metres out from his defensive goal. Plays on, goes to the outer side. A little bit of danger in this kick. They've got some work to do, the Roos, but they're up to the task. Handball now and they're away. Steele off the right, kick over the top. That's all right. Cowie that is comes inside now. Long kick inside the 50, looking for Augustine. At the back, what's he got at ground level, the big man? Goes off the ground, keeps the ball alive. It's 3 for 1 behind now, and that's the first score of the afternoon. Clarence, solidly behind Launceston yet to score. Very competitive start, right?
It's a great start, Arch, and Clarence will be really, really pleased with that. They've got a target up there in Augustine, which is something Siren struggled with against Launceston this year, so we'll see how that one unfolds.
They're playing Colin Garland defence too, Rob. That's an interesting move as well.
Absolutely.
He's couldn't get around it.
It's a long time there, so he knows how to play a game in defensive 50. Thorpe gets the 2 It's out on the floor.
Where's Bradley
He's in defence. Maybe he's on confidence and wants to start on ball. Kick there from Jack Preshaw. Bounce on the full, so let's see kicks flat out of bounds on the full this side of Windsor Park. The fuel ready. Shulcott with the clearing kick. The only as far there as Jack Burgess, Harry Burgess. Harry Burgess, 60 out. Kicks to the hot spot for Clarence. Augustine nearly takes the mark. Knocked up here by Hodge, he can't pick it up. He's over the ball, is Miller Hodge, he releases it now. Is it coming out? It does to Woolley. Little kick, that could be deliberate. How does the umpire read that? Throw in.
Very lucky those umpires that one.
So, pause there, he's just waiting for the umpire to let shuttling motion, but he didn't do it. It's a boundary throw in, about 20 metres around from the Clarence goal. They lead by 1 behind. Little breeze in this first quarter. Not blowing a real gale, but there's an advantage at the moment. Holt was caught with the ball. Trying to get the ball away there was Burgess. Cleared out again by Holt. Over towards Cody Thorpe. Numbers after him. In a contest there with Wade Wall. Thorpe wins it. Beautiful handball to Taylor. Taylor's handball though was to Denellen. Puts him under pressure. Now to Seymour. Has to kick around the corner. Does it successfully. And finds Harper. 2 kicks out from goal.
Harper, right, they've got back. They get knocked to go. There was 1-on-1. They go short. Over the top now is Smith. They can give the handball over the top. Brown going towards right in the pocket. Mark was split there by a diving Roo defender there in Wigner, resulting in a boundary throw there. 30 metres around from Launceston goal. They're real first for here this afternoon. At the moment inside 50s, what we've got Dave Gruber inside 50s. Four to the Roos. That's we've got 3rd there for Launceston. They've been shallow. Here's Polkman, gives it back to Black on the left. Goes to square. Riley coming up. Opposed to Garland. Drifting in from the side, taking a nice mark. That might not be Harper, is it, in from the side?
Maybe Harper.
Jody Harper. First offside in this year, actually, Jody Harper was. So that was a nice mark drifting in from the side there. Riley kept Garland occupied, and allowed Harper drifting from the side and took what in the end was an uncontested mark. He'll shoot the goal. 20 metres out, 45 from Angle comes in now, and he's never gave a chance, missed it the near side. When we were here the other week, Rob, they missed a few set shots, the boys. I watched them warming up there, they missed a few in warm-up as well.
They did. It was very telling. They really could have smashed the scoreboard, as you say, Bugs, but hopefully won't come back to haunt them, bad goal kicking.
So Weatherly takes a couple of metres in there short. Garland from the back pocket goes down the outer wing with a long ball going back unable to complete the mark. There was Miller Hodge. Ball at the back now, the Roos down one more back in the end, so they found him throwing out of wing. Neutral territory. No ranges on the board yet. Very tight start for this one, Rob.
It is, and I really liking Garland's leadership down there with his organisation. I mean, experience, very, very important in that game with Launceston.
He's played over 130 games for Melbourne, Colin Garland, so very experienced player. Obviously, Weber on the side well with Colin Garland, experience in this one. He's got some experienced heads, but
Ball up, centre wing, right starting behind each, might be a high scoring game. Conditions heavy underfoot on the western side of the ground. And the name of the shoulder here in the ruck contest. On the way to ball. Veteran now here for Clarence. It's down the line. Over the back, nice mark taken by Wright. Did he get a push out? He did. Free kick. Now to Jacob Steele. Next Tassie Devil. Steele. Kicks inside 50 with a goal square. Good long kick. Carries a long way. Just off line, one behind. That's the second behind the game. And hit the front to the Clarence rules. Two behind to one behind. Short kick out now to Hines. Jake Hines. 40 metres out from his defensive goal. Looking around for options. Goes short and finds Smith. Diagonal kick. Out towards the boundary. It's out right to Jamison House. There's a bit of acreage in front of him. Gets close to the line. Another one floats out of bounds on the full, so the field kicking early days, Rob, is not great.
No, it's not. And, there's some really good pressure from Clarence. What I'm really liking, guys, about what Clarence are doing, they're really on the front foot. When sides have come here this year against Launceston, they haven't attacked us. We've got a big size mismatch up here in the forward line with Angus Stein.
Hard thing too.
Let's see how that unfolds.
And they've got that size. They've got Steele in the side, Wall, Angus Stein. They've got several four options that can go through the ruck and forward.
Absolutely.
Harper inside 50, but straight down the throat there of Jake Hines. He looks to switch, dangerously to right. It's out okay. Alec Wright. Possessions already in that defensive 50. Kicks back from whence it came. Close to the line, finds Tartil. Tartil plays on, telegraphs the handle over the top now to Willa Hodge. That's the kick straight away. So he coughs it up to Sam Green. Also Josh Green, suspended during the week. There's Josh Green, Ethan Jackson. And also Jason Bailey out of today's team for Clarence. Kick is all there for Sam Green, spins out of bounds. So skill's not great, what we'd like to see early on, but a close contest here at Windsor Park.
Some good signs though in terms of Clarence's ability to intercept the ball. That's something that's really working for them at the moment, but their skills are letting them down, as you say.
Promising start from the Roos, no doubt about that. Yet to land a blow on the scoreboard though. From the boundary throw in going, there was Pitcher, did well, the handball was there. As a result, the Roos come away from that stoppage, ends up with Steele inside the forward 50. Eddie's tackled immediately and taken the ground Steele. They have a forward 50 stoppage, 45 metres out from the Roos goal. Kicking with the aid of that slight bruise in this first turn. 2 behinds to 1 at the moment. Angus getting in the ruck. 1 it down. Going really at ground level. Newton was there, couldn't get a hand on the football. Wembley went in at ground level as well. Ball bouncing around in there. No one able to come away clean on the stoppage.
Earlier scores today, Bart. In the under-18 Clarence 5, 11-41 defeated Launceston 6-4-40. And in the D-League, it was Launceston 12-14-86 defeated Clarence 4-3-27. So the top team were beaten there in the D-League.
What will we see here this afternoon? Must be a round of upsets. And they'll get a free kick here though, the Roos. 45 metres out from goal, play where it started. Launceston run it down. That looks like Harper has the free kick. 45 metres out from goal. As we know, he'll kick with a slight bruise in his back. So it looks like he thinks he's got the journey here. He'll take his very best, I would have thought. A couple of players run by looking for the handball. Hasn't given it, so he'll come in now. He'll kick from right on the 50. Couple of metres beyond that, in fact, kick on its way. It's a booming kick straight over the goal. Umpires, hey, that's what they wanted the Roos. They've got the first of the afternoon. They lead at 1-2-8. Launceston one behind. Exciting start, Roger.
It's a great start. Probably the first time we've been here this year, we've really seen Launceston challenged. Still early days, of course. The challenge, particularly with that intercept marking across half-back and that constant 4-8 forward, particularly the pressure. Clarence coach will be very happy with this, guys.
Well, what I'm looking forward to seeing is how do the Blues have got more of a score pressure. I haven't seen that so far this year.
His Lauderdale a few weeks ago, they were under pressure there for a while, but yeah, it's the first time they've been challenged in the first quarter like this in recent times. So game on here, it's a part early days. Gordon up against Angerstein. Angerstein wins a tap. And he's faced Seymour. Seymour, half forward. Taylor in a wrestle there, over the top. Here comes Wagon. Ford goes in hard. Taylor, it's for Seymour. Seymour inside 50 to Riley, takes the mark. On the chest, is a long way out. Down the mark right on 50. Plays on. Centering ball. Slipped over. It's Jake Hines. He covers, takes the mark. Plays on as well. Crosses it straight up to James Bealey. Half back. Bealey plays on. He goes wide, clears the contest. Remains in there for Clarence. Now back to the goal kicker in Harper. Offs it up. Tartil on 50 to the goal square. Thorpe over the back, over the shoulder. Free kick to the Clarence defender there in Sam Green. Gets the handball away. Now the kick eventually ends up there with Jack Breshaw.
The Roos come away once more. Handball set Bealey the task. At the time he's quick enough, got to steal. His handball, that was cut off by Wagan. Still goes back and gets it. Goes back to Breshaw. 70 metres out from the defensive goal. He's taking a game tackle. Ends up with Hines. He comes inside. 50 up. Goes to the top of the square. Thorpe caught behind the gauge. Green did well in the front. Brought to ground. At ground level is Blackburn. He's stripped of the football. Whistle gone. And he's pinned. Umpire says holding the ball. It was a hot call, but probably fair enough. This kick inside is dangerous. Over the head of Bealey. Opens the door now for the Blues. Flying shot at goal as it crossed the face. That was Miller Hodge missing that opportunity. So that's their second behind of the afternoon. Clarence 1-2-8, leading by that solitary goal. They restart again. For the second time to go, they go short to Garland in the opposite back pocket. Garland comes inside. That was a dangerous kick. Hit low on the half volley. Spilt the ball. Hines now from the boundary. Flying shot goal is good. Jake Hines has the first for the Blues. Quality finish, 30 metres out, deep in the pocket. It's 1-8 apiece at Windsor Park.
He's made amends for that mistake he made a moment ago when he took the extra kick. He could have gone back and had a shot for goal, kicked it straight to Clarence defender.
And it's fiddling about a bit too much in defence of 50, Rod, maybe?
Yeah, they were.
Short kicks.
And they've capitalised for Launceston. Haven't looked as good going inside 50 today. I think you called it last. The Thorpe's getting 2 free kicks right. Could have been the third one playing behind.
The thing that I'm noticing, I've said the boys this year, is the fact that they're not outsizing their opponents physically, which normally probably see Cody Thorpe, he has the size advantage and takes that mark. They're matching them both at ground level and in the air.
They are, and they've obviously also given a look at who's manning who up too, which is really important with that potent offence.
Well, that wins the top. The tapper takes himself up towards half forward to Leedham. Follow Rutland. Beautiful pick up by Leedham. Handball's great to Blackberry. Gets around easily on the left foot. Pass it to Riley. And the Launceston machine is starting to roll here at Windsor Park. That was superb play out of the middle. Wagon doing his own ruck work. His own tap. A series of possessions ends up with Riley. Round the corner, Dylan Riley. Offline on this occasion. And they take the lead though, the Blues. 1-3-9 to 1-2-8. Got some AFL there, Budge?
Yes, a couple of quick scores over in Melbourne. It's Dockmans and Fremantle with 29 leading Collingwood 14. And down here in the south, the Roos 28 leading the Suns 18.
Okay, so moves off to a start there. Big kick, that's better from Clarence out of defence. That's out right there, and kicking it forward to Shark Barber. They've got territory. Big Angustine lumbers after it against 4 Launceston opponents. He win out in the end. Holt nearly slips over. Now he's under pressure. He get one high. He's taken to the tackle. Umpire has mercy. Maybe Joe Blackley was a bit unlucky before. Maybe Holt was a bit lucky. But anyway, ball up, half forward. Clarence in attacking 50. Angustine. Now comes out to Weberly. The coach kicks it into the goal square. Off hands. Good result for Clarence. It's out of bounds. Right near the behind post.
Moving the ball quickly when they can, Cos. We saw that time as he called it long ball defence. All of a sudden, a couple of possessions they were into attack, putting the Launceston defence under pressure. Right?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I'd really like to see him give Angustine some space to work out of the goal square.
Boundary thrown falls short. Angustine can't quite collect it. We'll go over the boundary line again. Gives me a chance to look at some stats. If we go Gruber, inside 50's Clarence 8, Launceston 7. Marks inside 50, Launceston 6-0 so far. That's a huge amount in the first quarter. And clearances are pretty even to this day. So, even right across the board, including the scoreboard, Clarence with his slight breeze. Tap out, chance here. That was Jack Preshaw tackled. Who's at the house? He's tackled by Jack Preshaw in turn. And it's a ball up. It's only 25 metres out of Clarence's goal, directly in front. He's kicking to the town end of his first quarter. The rookie of the first 4 goals at North Hobart. Chance for Launceston play there in Brown. Heavy underfoot, gets tackled straight away. Yes, the rookie 4-2-26 from Hobart get the score. The score yet not going to go in the North Launceston Tigers game. Tap out. So Tuthill is tackled as the umpire read that. So it's going to go back to Jack Tuthill, pushing the back. Deep in the defensive back pocket. Reese gets up a little bit now, affects Mike. Short kick comes out, it's a beautiful one, and Hines takes them up.
Hines has the football, 55 out of side. Comes back into the corridor, that's fine. Finds Brown, he brings it this side now. Holt takes him out on the point of the centre square, defensive side. His kick was smothered, played on quickly, cost him dearly. Now the Roos have a chance on the wing. Going in there is Harper. He had his arm pinned their tackle. No, don't take the football from at the moment. Holmes goes in, he's pushed in the back. The umpire says yes, he is indeed. So Holmes will have the football, centre wing. Open corner, he's got Angustine all by himself down there, goes that direction now. Kick was shaked a little bit. As a result, Angustine has to do some work at ground level. Handball comes out now though, over the back. Here's an opportunity for Penrod, round the body. Penrod's got their second, good finish. Not a lot of pressure there, and the Roos make the most of it. They get their second, they are 2-2-14. Leading Launceston 1-3-9. Good start, Rob.
Great start, and again, Angustine's involved in the play. They touched on his size and strength, and that's something that's a little bit different for Launceston to deal with, causing them some problems at the moment. As I said earlier, I'd love to see him empty out some space for him to work into. The other thing too, that Clarence have got to get smarter at, we know Launceston like to move the ball back inside off that half-back line. Having guys there to chop that off certainly go to the right. Make Launceston think about how they use the ball, that's for sure.
So Wade Wall and Angustine swapping over there in the ruck contest. Those broadcasts, it's our sponsor, it's brought to you by Elgas for all your LPGB statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge, phone 13 11 61. Beverly tries to hit the centre clearance, he shovels it backwards to Jack Preshaw. He's had a bit of it early. Up towards half forward. Nearly taken out by Bobby Whitelaw, jump the change there, number 23. Now it's Seymour. They're going to clear it out of the fence through Chilcott. Nice kick, finds Gronawagon, defensive side of the wing. Kicking towards Taylor, who's under pressure. Continuing well there, Brendan Taylor. Positioned the body beautifully, knew he was under pressure. Took the mark. Dangerous 45 kick, doesn't work out. Clarence with the numbers. Handball comes over now from Whitelaw. Into Harper, he's got a lot of space. He kicks deep. There's Harper, sort of looking for goal, I think, and it might get there. It turns, it's a goal. What a great goal there by Jared Harper. He kicked it through about 60. Thought he might have been looking there for Angustine, but it just kept on going. And third goal on the board there for Clarence.
I reckon he probably was looking very concerned to be claiming that one Thursday night training. He'll be saying he was from 80 metres, I reckon.
Well, I think Shane Waterwood would have that leg break. Just as it took, he got towards the behind post, just came back nicely.
Certainly, it would have been very difficult to kick out of the hand, that one.
And that 45 kick, Rob, when it comes off, it looks good, but if it doesn't come off, it opens that channel for the opposition to sweep it away.
It certainly does, and Launceston haven't been as clear out of there, clean out of there today. And Alex Wright, who we talked a couple of weeks ago, haven't caught his own much today. Very important when you back there.
Getting some numbers around the football tonight, Clarence, as well. Angusteen goes up, one and down. He's done a very good job to start this contest this afternoon. This is disappointing for the Roos. They go away for a kick. The ball wasn't handed back to Blackberry in a more fashion, and as a result, he's received a 50-metre penalty. So he'll go from the centre circles to about 30 metres out, directly in front. Just what the Roos couldn't get after a couple of terrific goals. Courtney kicks this one here, Blackberry. They need a bit of a set of the Blues. They've got the one, but really the Roos have had the dominant position in the last 5 minutes. So Joe Blackberry to come in, 35 metres out, directly in front. Looking for the Blues' second of the afternoon. Comes in now, close to the man of the mark, kick on its way. It's snuck it home. He has. They've got their second. The Roos won't be happy with that, so they narrow the gap to the Blues. They're 2-3-15. Growing points, 3-2, 25 points the margin. Pushing on in this first term now, Rob.
Real coach killer, that one, Barsh. I mean, you know, we just called two great bits of play that led to two Clarence goals, and then to give away something as silly as that by not returning the ball to a player like Joe Blackwood was going to hurt you every day of the week.
As you say, that was very frustrating. Late in the quarter, we've got 23 odd minutes gone. They would love to go with that sort of couple of goal advantage that Clarence said the win was worth in this first term.
Yeah, and I think Foss called it a moment ago, the Blues getting up a bit, so they certainly want to capitalise on it.
In the middle of Windsor Park, Ronald wins his tap. Play held there by the arm. Free kick.
Umpire's been good, I think, so far.
Jack Preshaw on the ball. It's out at home. Throws his full measure inside 50. Clarence forward line work over time to try and fashion a scoreboard on Chilcott. They work it out there through Tuthill. It's right across Windsor Park and gets Smith with a lovely kick under pressure. Smith taken in front of Burgess. 45 kick comes off this time to Lilly. Lilly this way, that away. Tries to go left on that left foot into the centre of the ground. Nobody in particular. The handball wasn't great there from Whitelaw. That works out right now. Comes back to Green from Weberley. Green inside 50 contest. It clears the contest. Is it going to go through this time? It's not. There's Tuthill under pressure. Puts it through for a rush behind. Clarence now 3-3-21. Leading Launceston 2-3-15. This is Sea Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5. And via the TSL live stream, here's Luke Kovacic.
Kick in to the advantage of Gronal League. Had the height advantage, took a nice mark over Preshaw, who started this game well. Kick back inside, that assist with that 45 ball. And this one is high. Finds Taylor. Again, chipping ball. Holferman. Centre half back now. Plays on. Takes 10 metres, then goes short again. Wright has it on the outer wing. Over the top to Miller Hodge. 4 or 5 20-metre passes. And they'll go forward now inside 50. Hodge, longer ball from Leedham. Took the front position, really went through his hands in the end. As it ground level Leedham, he's tackled immediately. They've got a forward 50 stoppage to post, 30 metres out from goal. Garland doing the work ground level. He's had his hands full when it has gone forward. Garland, he's held up very well so far. No clean possession from this ruck contest. Holmes and Leedham, they're in there fighting over that football. And the umpire brought up once more. We're getting close to a siren. 25 minutes just ticked over now. They could all afford to concede one here, the Roos. Garland dropped quickly over the back. Was fairly effective in the end. Dropped to the other side. Half of that fire ball towards the wing. Still caught behind. Gronaweg took the mark in front. 7 metres from going out of Gronaweg. Crowded forward line ahead. Just bombs a long ball to 20 metres out. The hot spot, flying from the side was Riley. Unable to take the mark. The Roos clear, but that's a hurried kick, and Willie has it. They'll go back inside, repeat entry, spearing ball. Doing well in front there was Holmes. Got a high one for his efforts. 45 metres out, he will get the free kick and give the Roos a chance now to unlead from their defensive 50. That's Holmes, and he goes short and wide. That's It's okay, but Procney has it out of side. I'll just be content to sort of run the clock down, take it around the line here. He does that. Picks up towards Steele. Bounce in front of him. Miller Hodge came over the back. They go around the other side now, the Blues, but getting in the way there. Procney wasn't paid the mark. Ball in dispute now on the outer wing. Players going fairly willingly, not going out of there. The umpire says, I'll have it, and we'll ball it up on the outer wing.
Getting close to quarter time. A couple of minutes here. The Roos will lead by a goal. 3 goals to 2. Just another stoppage.
So they probably want another one, the Roos, I reckon, just to make the most of that breezy game.
There's a little bit of that's a duo over there. Separate. Right goes well. Throws the ball up. Tight there's Jack Preshaw. Tries to get to Harper. Kick 2 in the first quarter. He lays on the ball. Umpire says ball up. Congratulations today to Corey Lovell, number 27 for Clarence, making his debut. Actually the nephew of statistician for Launceston, Darren Lovell, who gives us the stats here for each quarter at home games.
Bit of nibble in this round at the moment, guys.
Absolutely.
Bit of frustration too from Launceston, you know, that free kick here a moment ago. Frustration he was caught behind the ball.
Yes, plays directly to the traffic, so not happy with their setup at times. So plays where he started out a wing, ball was thrown in. Still went up against Thorpe. The Roos come away, they take 20 metres. Really distracted forward there, the Roos. Very entertaining first term there at Windsor Park. Just what we wanted, really. Clarence kicked with the 8 of the breeze. They scored the 3 goals, so they're 3 through 21. Leading the home side Launceston 2-3-15. Harper has 2 for the visitors. Yeah. Penrite has 1, and then Hines make the goal kicking for the Blues.
Yeah, well,
for sure.
Very interesting first quarter.
Yeah.
Breeze, but
bloody hell.
It might sound like we're barracking a little bit sometimes with Clarence, but I think we're happy here just to see a competitive game. Because we've seen a lot of games here this year that haven't been, and it's really great to be at a quarter time in a game and know that there's a contest on.
And that's what, if you're a Launceston player or supporter or person in the club, that's what you want to do if you go to a finals campaign. It's just to have some good high pressure contest behind you, and know you can perform well under that sort of circumstance.
Stats today proved at quarter time. Hit outs, Clarence 10, the Launceston 8. Great battle on the ruck there, especially between Conor Wagner and the 2 Clarence ruckmen, Moore and Anguston. Clearance is 7 to Clarence, 5 to Launceston, inside 50s, 12 to 11 the Roos way. Marks inside 56 to Launceston, 0 to Clarence. And the free kicks, Clarence received 11 to Launceston 5. Rob, some quick thoughts before we go back for some messages.
I think the key thing today too, which I'm impressed with Clarence, is they've come up here, we've talked about their outs and challenges, straight on the front foot, straight on the attack with what they've been trying to do. And that's their good side. And Launceston have been the yardstick this year, the reigning premiers. So in other games we've covered, we've seen sides come in almost like...
Yeah, good Ash, there you go.
Come here with the idea of, oh, well, we're going to stem the lead, we're not going to lose by much. Whereas Clarence have come in today and gone, you know what, let's try a few things, let's throw it up in the air and see what happens, and they've been rewarded so far.
And as you said at the outset too, Rob, they'll be disappointed with that loss last week.
Had to actually change over because
season to find opportunity.
my menus of
yeah, it is. It's almost
my camera, so I've actually got another one here and we didn't change it over, so we'll change it over now. And everything should be alright.
They've got nothing to lose, and so far so good for them.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, just watch that level.
Full time here at Windsor Park, and it's a new contest here at the moment. And Clarence 3-3-21 leading Launceston 2-3-15. We'll take a break here on City Park Radio and on the live stream. We'll come back in just a moment.
Resolutions down, and now it's not bloody working.
here to Windsor Park, and it's pretty close competition. Clarence 3-3-21 leading Launceston 2-3-15. This morning here at the Chas Stadium, it's a similar sort of scoreline actually. North Launceston 3-3-21. The Tigers at 2-1-13 at North Hobart. Milwaukee 4-4-28 leading North Hobart. A 1-goal straight 6. We'll get to the AFL in just a minute, but Bart, you've got thanks to Darren Lovell, the stats guy, Damien Donnelly for Launceston. Some individual stats to finish off.
Yeah, so Jake Hines, the dominant player for the home team. He's at 9 disposals for 7 kicks. Miller Hodge trying to work the 7 piece. And the opposition, interestingly enough, Webley's been pretty quiet. This has had 2 kicks in the right hand with 3 disposals in the first term.
Okay, AFL, it's North Melbourne 4-6-30. The Suns 4-3-27. And it's dead level between Hollywood and Fremantle, 27 apiece. Okay, so we'll get a better gauge on this breeze, won't we, Rob, at half-time, because Launceston will have the advantage of this quarter.
Yeah, we will. And again, I'm sure Mitch Thorpe's talking to his players about their ball use, and with that wind behind them, it's their home ground. They know the way the wind works here. You talked about favouring this side of the ground towards the river. Just got to be a bit smarter how they do things, Dave. And yeah, he'd be a little bit disappointed. I think it's certainly not been the Launceston we're used to, having seen them a few times this year. But champion teams always seize the moment, don't they?
Just some fascinating matchups, aren't they? I love the move of Colin Garland in defence. He's been playing up forward mainly this year, but just adds a bit of experience and calmness back there, doesn't he?
And they've still looked potent enough when they've gone forward as well.
And Tony Webb, he's just emerged from the Launceston huddle. He's making his way back to the boundary. Tony, what do you got from us from Mitch Thorpe's address?
Look, he wasn't overly happy. I think they committed a lot of basic errors, mainly with the kicking. They've been practising kicking all week, kicking through the ball. It's just doing one-step kicks that are going straight to the opposition and causing turnovers. He reckons that's caused a couple of those goals. So he wants them to be a lot cleaner. He says they look down on the clearances, but pretty well even elsewhere. He says they've got 6 marks inside 50 versus none for Clarence. And he reckons Palfram is doing a good job on Webley. He's kept him to 2 possessions. Otherwise, he says the wind won't do it for us. We've got to do it properly and just really pick up on our kicking skills.
Cheers, Tony. No major injuries that you can see so far?
No, not at this point. The wind picked up a bit towards the end of that quarter. It's just died down a little bit. So, as you know, here at Windsor Park, it comes and goes in gusts. So, yeah, we'll see what impact it has when both sides have kicked with it.
Cheers, Tony. We'll talk to you again.
No worries.
Okay, that's interesting. We didn't probably pick that match up there, Palfreman and Webley. That was a bit of a tag going on there.
Yes, and as we said, he's been quiet in the first quarter. Started last week down in the back line, Webley, and then went into the middle in the second half. So starting here in the engine room with those couple of players out, obviously, if they can stop him, go away a long way to Launceston winning this game.
Both sides will be really, really conscious of how they use their ball going inside 50. I think both would be disappointed with that. And secondly, Launceston would be looking to get that intercept marking going across half-back, which has served them well. And of those vaunted backmen that we touched on earlier, Tully was probably been the only one that's thrust his name in front of the selectors at the moment with some good performances so far.
It's a start. It's footy finals today. We'll keep an eye on that. And St Patrick's have taken out the seconds, 72 to Hutchins 37. So congratulations there to the St Pats boys. Keeping up to date with local sport here on City Park Radio. Don't forget tonight we're at the Elfin Sports Centre from 6:15. Big clash. Tornadoes versus Bendigo. Quarter number 2 here at Windsor Park. The Blues trail by a goal. Here's Luke Grabarczyk.
Groenewegen and Angus Stein, neither really won it cleanly. The Roos get a little kick off the ground up towards half forward. Doing nicely there was Seymour, fed it back to Hines. His handball went looking for right. He couldn't really take the football. Keeps the ball in the forward line here for the Roos. Kick off the ground, got it to half forward. Holt got a hurried ball away into the centre square. Wide open space here. At the back is Brown, gets a quick kick forward. Out in front of Riley, comes up, takes the ball cleanly on the bounce. Now he's 50 out from goal, Riley. Back onto the right. Little chip kick is a good one. Finds Smith, 30 metres out from goal, 45-degree angle. Clever there from Dylan Riley, Rob.
Very clever, and if you watch that ball come in, Riley's one of the very, very few players in this league that has the ability in those first 3 or 4 steps just to separate, and he did that really, really well in that instance to set his teammate up for a shot on goal.
So not an easy kick by any means, and this breeze will prove a little bit of a challenge as well. So I'll have to aim for the far behind post. Smith comes in now, gives it every chance, but it was just a little bit skinny. Misses to the near side. So first score of the second quarter. Narrows the margin to 5 points it is, in fact. Roos through Green. They go short. That's okay. Harper plays on. That was a little bit too easy in the end. Kicks up towards the wing. Preshaw the target. Flew from behind. Got hands to it. Couldn't complete the mark. Ball's fed back to Holt. He's taken down. Got his kick away. 30 metres gained for the Blues. Spoil. Leadham did the roving. Tucked against the line. Hurries it inside forward 50. And they'll get a forward 50 stoppage. The Blues. 30 metres around from goal.
So boundary throw in. It's all right. Deep in the pocket. Breeze gets scalp a little bit here. It's a nice fine day though. Sunshine bathing at Windsor Park here for our radio listeners. Falls a bit short. Thorpe. It's it down to a large number of players. Trying to work out as Weberly. Gets it back to Garland. Kick goes sideways. Don't think he'll be penalised for that. Goes out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Attacking 50. We're back here in a couple of weeks for the big Launceston derby. Launceston and North Launceston. So 1-1 so far this season. So it should be a cracker here in 2 weeks from today on a Saturday afternoon. Ronowagon gets the tap. Now taken by Smith from the pocket. Aims it out right. Jake Smith, what a shot that is. That's a goal. He learned from his first attempt. He allowed for the breeze beautifully. And Jake Smith puts through the third goal for Launceston, an early one in the second quarter. 3 goals, 4-22. They now lead Clarence 3-3-21.
That's the benefit of Launceston. I mean, we've seen Smith a bit this year, doing some great stuff across the back half. They've obviously pushed him forward, and 2 shots on goal in a couple of minutes, and converting truly with that one.
Played his 150th game this year, Barch, as well.
Yes, he's been a fine servant of the club, no doubt about that, and that was a quality finish. He was a long way out in these conditions. Wonderful goal from Smith to get the Blues started in the second term, just what they would have been looking for. They can get another goal or two here early, Rob, will really put the visiting team under pressure.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what champion sides do. They certainly seem more positive in their movement of the ball.
Big next 5 minutes in this contest here. Preshaw took it for the ruck contest, did well to get out of a tackle in the end and kicked it forward, going back with courage, taking a nice mark. The Roos will go forward, handball to Weberly. He goes inside 50 now. House comes out and meets it on the bounce. Did well, but his kick was smothered. Opportunity for steal. Going aggressively there was Whitelaw as well. The Blues clear. It's a hurried kick. Ronowagon to provide the shepherd. Gives Holt an extra split second. Good kick over the top to the goal kicker and Smith. He's got it on the centre wing. Go over the top to Seymour. Goes a little bit further to Polferman inside the centre square. Plays on. Switches the ball now across the ground. They go further afield. Right on the outer side now, the Blues. Kick inside forward 50 is good. Finds Hines 45 metres out from goal. Tucked up against the boundary line.
I think it's Denellen Barch, maybe. A big number.
Could well be, Foz.
Yep.
Been quiet in that first term, only the 3 disposals. So he'd love to make an impact here in the second quarter. Going for their second goal. Very difficult kick. He'll have the wind almost directly behind him, so that will aid him. Plays on. Kicks from 52 metres. Kick on its way. Will land in the square. Leadham rose high. Couldn't come down with the football. Desperate spoil came from Garland. At the fall of the ball is Harper. Looking for the line. They'll be happy to see it over here, the Roos, or get a stoppage. They'll get the latter. So dangerous pass for the time being. Blues deep into attack.
Yeah, they're having a majority of inside 50s, 4-1 in this quarter. And got a feeling that the Clarence Roos really wanted to stem the damage in this second term where the Blues have got the breeze, keep themselves in the game at half-time. Weberly was tackled. So he was out of bounds again. We've got a lot of players around the contest. The furthest player for the Roos is Angustine. He's up on the wing. So the majority of the players now in attacking 50 for Launceston. Leadham gets it down to Taylor. Quick kick forward by Smith. Into the goal square. It bounces over the top. Chance Denellen off the ground. There's a goal. Great work there, Jack Denellen. Read it beautifully. Soccer skills, left foot. 10 metres out, tough angle, and that's another goal for Launceston. They're starting to turn it on here, Rob.
Yeah, they are, and that again just showcases the challenge that Clarence are going to have. Launceston have just got such talent inside their forward line. You keep a guy like Riley quiet, and as we've seen all year, they've got other options that pop up in earlier games, the Musicas of the world, although he's not playing today. Big Thorpe, so Jack Denellen very, very had a very good year so far. We talked in previous broadcasts, was going to leave and play in the NTFA, but he's certainly been a very valuable player for them Barts this season. Yes,
good finish there. And all of a sudden the Roos right under pressure.
Still a tight contest, Barch, at Utah Stadium. It's North Launceston 3-3-21. The Tigers 2-3-15. Back underway.
Tight football everywhere around Tasmania this afternoon. Great day for footy. Preshaw comes away. Handball inside is not too bad. Finds Lovell. He was under pressure. Kicked it forward. Dropping the mark in the end was Barwick. Went back and got it on the ground. His kick was smothered again. Penrod's in there. Little terrier at ground level, providing some pressure. Good work. Effected the kick. Gives Paprotny an opportunity. He fights against two on the wing. They'll be happy to neutralise this, and they do that, the Roos. Well done. Good forward 50 pressure, and then a good effort from Paprotny ensures they keep the ball in their attacking half. They'd love a goal here, the Roos. Steele, beaten for it by Gronewegan. Doing well there was Preshaw, but he was stripped of it by Pitcher. Hurried a kick forward, no one home. Holmes copped that heavy knock in the first quarter. Markson goes to centre-half back. Ball here in the hands of Buchner. Goes to the outer side. Dangerous kick. Thorpe couldn't get there. Wall took the mark. Whistle's gone.
Advantage, I think.
Play goes on. Ends with Green. So they've gone across the ground. They go come back now. Paprotny has it. Half-back flank. Not a lot down the line. And they've cut off the switch as well, the Blues. So he plays on and just kicks one down the line towards Preshaw. Hines drifted in from the side, dropped the mark in the end, Hines, and as a result will get a stoppage. True centre wing position in front of our broadcast spot here. Second term action, Launceston leading it by 7 points. 8 minutes gone, 2-1 this quarter for the Blues. Gronewegan rose high, couldn't really get it in the direction of a teammate though. Tough footy to be won here, ball's going nowhere. We'll get a third stoppage on this centre wing position. 6 forwards forward to this contest for the Roos, 6 forwards for the Blues. Steele got it down in the direction of Preshaw, but he couldn't gather the football, and as a result fumbled it over the line. We'll have a boundary throw-in.
Much happening here at the moment. It's a bit of a stalemate. Clarence will be happy with that. They want to make sure they're right in touch here at half-time. Boundary umpires, tough day for them. Into the breeze there. Gronewegan thumps it 15 metres in his own team's direction. Nobody can pick it up now. Hines does. Bit of volleyball. Ends up now with Donnellan, the goal kicker, right on the boundary line. Kicks up here towards Riley. Tries to take the one-hander. Holmes is there against Riley. Shovels it out to James Holmes. Here towards Liam Jones. Now Donnellan on the boundary. Centering ball. Slipping over there slightly was Harper, who's been pretty quiet so far. Picks it up now to Joby Harper. Handball. Back to Harper. Paprotny's in there. They do it well through Sam Green. Towards half-back Burgess, front position. Outmarked though by Gronewegan. He's in range.
That was a good mark. That was a very high ball for us in windy conditions.
Young Burgess did well getting the front position, but just to be out marked there by superior height and judgment by Joe Gronewegan. We're right behind this one. Man on the mark, 45 out. Breeze behind him. We'll have to aim it out right. Back in the side, Joe Gronewegan. Hand injury sustained a few weeks ago. And he comes. Makes contact too far right. It'll drift back, but it might even make the distance in the end. Mark taken in defence by Green. Now to Holmes. Holmes centering ball there towards Tremaine. Thumped away though by Tuthill. Lonnie player tackled. Comes out. And really is a bit of a scrap now in the second quarter, Rob.
Yeah, it is. The endeavour's certainly lifted from Launceston, but as you say, Clarence is almost just trying to hang in, aren't they, and limit the damage.
They really do need to try and pinch a couple of goals the other way. Out now to Steele. Now ball forward to the contest. Pitching it out there was Preshaw. Off the ground nicely there by Penwright. Trying to get it as far as Kieran Howlett. He's caught with the ball. Fights on manfully. There'll be another ball up.
We praised Clarence at the start at quarter time, didn't we, about their attack and the way they've just onto the front foot. It's just like they've gone into their shell a bit. They really need to get onto the front foot again.
Yes, maybe that mindset perhaps of going against the Breeze this quarter, Rob, but as you say, haven't been as attacking. Howard has the football now, goes a little handball over the top, but they're unable to clear the ball. The Roos will have another stoppage inside the centre square. Tough going here at the moment. See if we can get a couple of quick scores. What's happening in the AFL?
I'll go while you're doing that, Barch, as it's knocked down there to Seymour. Seymour to half forward. Here towards Jones in the contest. Reading it nicely as pitcher. Can he pick it up? He can. He gets corralled. Kick likes a fortune back to Jones. Liam Jones on the 50 chips it up towards full forward. Mark nearly taken there by Harper. He fights on again, does JB Harper. And Harper wins the ball, slings for goal, but doing the goalkeeping there is Garland. Garland clears it nicely. Mark taken there by the debutant Corey Lovell. Coughs it up though. Straight to Holt. Holt takes his time, looks inside, has to go now. Hines is there. Can he take the mark? He nearly does. Clarence defence work overtime. Webberley kicks wide to space. He'll go over the boundary line. Bart thinks it's deliberate. Umpire doesn't agree. What are those AFL scores, Bart? You get them?
Yes, Freo. They're doing quite nicely. They've pulled out to a 3-goal lead over the Magpies. And North hanging on to a slender margin, 2 points over the Suns. So another tight contest as we've got right around Tassie here this afternoon. Thorpe goes up against Wall, came down to the front. Tremaine couldn't take the ball. Hines over the top to Polframan. Can give it over the top now to Thorpe. To the run of Hines. Back around Wall. His kick was smothered. Lands fortunately though for Hodge. Runs the 50. Kicks to the pocket looking for Riley, but he was out positioned always there. And Buchner was able to take the mark. Kicked in advantage to forward. Buchner comes away. Good ball. Out of side. Roos are away now. Can they move a bit more aggressively on this occasion? They've got the ball to centre wing in the hands of Penwright. He can go over the top looking for Tremaine. Kick was just a little bit short. Couldn't take it on the half volley. Went to ground. Was able to paddle it back out in the direction of Penwright from where it came. But they'll have a stoppage centre wing out of side.
Tony on the boundary.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, Joe Black was just about to come back on, or he's just gone back on. He's been off for about 2 minutes. He came off with a sore left knee. They've been set up, done a little bit of work on it. Seems to be running quite freely now.
Thanks, Tony.
So Blackberry kicked that goal in the first quarter. Here's a chance for the Roos. They come away from the stoppage through Preshaw. Long kick. Looking for the other Preshaw there. Couldn't take the mark. At ground level is Barwick fighting hard with Holt. They force it over the boundary line 60 metres out from their goal, the Roos. Having probably their better couple of minutes here. And they've actually got a free kick by the looks of this, Rob.
Yeah, and they need to make the most of this. They really haven't threatened this quarter. We'll see what comes of this.
Barwick, high ball, 30 metres out though. Harper, always to his advantage. Big Angerstein couldn't really get a run at it. And Harper goes short. Wright has it now. The back pocket has Smith on short if he wants. Goes a bit further afield to the run of Thorpe. Bouncing ball. Difficult one to trap. Thorpe sees it over the boundary line opposed to Wall. So they've stemmed the bleeding here after the Blues came out of the blocks in this second term. Nothing really major on the scoreboard for the last 5 minutes. Roos getting back into the contest.
Inside 57-3, the Blues way.
Yes, they've been pretty dominant this quarter, the Blues. The Roos hanging on at the moment. Need to be within striking distance at half-time, you feel, if they're to be a threat this afternoon. Webberley, he's wrapped up immediately. Tough football out there at the moment. Umpire will restart once again. Thorpe and Wall to go up in the ruck. Couple of big bodies. Neither got a hand on it in the end. Harper's there. Almost looks like a rugby scrum there at the moment. Sort of getting ready for a maul or something. Just locking the ball at ground level, and we'll restart once more. Thorpe and Wall, round 2. Thorpe this time. Nice palm. Down to Polframan. Quick kick around the body. Getting under that and taking a nice mark there, though, was Paprotny. Dangerous ball inside. Harper intercepts. Elects to go. Was tackled. Affected the kick, but he gets it far enough. Groenewegen on to Blackberry. Back on the ground. Unselfishly to Riley in the square. Plays on. Goal. Dylan Riley. That's his first of the afternoon. Halfway through the second quarter. We've got 15 minutes gone in the second term. And the margin's at 13 points. The Blues are 5-4-34. Leading Clarence 3-3-21.
That's where they hurt you, Launceston. You know, like never looked like it there for a little while, and then the quality of those players you called then, Barch, at Jay Blackberry's hands ending up in Riley's hands. That's only ever going to end up one way, and that's going to be heartache for the Clarence defence. I think Bushner's done a really, really good job on Riley, but it's also been the team effort up the ground just to limit the way the balls come into the forwards.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for all your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Thank you for your support as Launceston get out to a 13-point lead from the centre contest. Picked up by Hines. Caught there by Weberly. And there'll be another secondary ball up. So Martin just eking out a little bit. Dylan Riley's 52nd goal for the year. And there's a great team play there from the Blues inside that attacking 50. They found some space and they converted. Great work there by Weberly. Torpedo inside 50. Up here towards full forward. Taking it nicely there was Pre-Shaw. Kick now towards Tremaine. He takes the mark.
Gee, quality take below his knees there, Pre-Shaw.
Yep.
Very impressive.
That was Oliver Pre-Shaw. The two boys are cousins, Oliver and Jack. Yeah, it was really good work. And ends up now with Tremaine, who have the shot 15 metres out, 45-degree angle. And if they're to stay in this game, he just simply must convert this.
Couldn't agree more.
He does, and Weberly got away from Palfreyman there too.
Yep.
Palfreyman's done a pretty good job on him, as we touched on earlier.
Didn't muck around Weberly, straight inside 50. Here's Tremaine for Clarence's 4th goal. Umpire says that's fine. Nice goal, Clarence. Jack Tremaine's first. And they creep closer to Launceston. 5-4-34, pace 4-3-27.
Just what this contest needed, Rob. 7 points the margin. They stay in at the Roos.
Yeah, they do. And it has been all Launceston. If you didn't look at the scoreboard, you could have thought Launceston were further ahead. But very, very important goal. I touched on that a moment ago. Weberly's got to lift and give Clarence a bit more out of the middle. They've certainly got some talent in that forward line if they can get the ball in there.
The last couple of times he's got the footy, he's just said, let's get it forward, and that worked then.
North Launceston 4-3-27, the Tigers 2-5-17 at UTAS Stadium. And at North Hobart, it's Glenorchy 28, North Hobart 12. Here's Butch.
Angus Stein won it down, been a good battle on the ruck, but they come away here. Seymour sends a high ball to the forward pocket. Riley was wrestling there. Gets a bouncing ball now, Dylan Riley. Left foot off the side of the boot. Thorpe in the square. Takes the front position, Thorpe. Crumbing it was Blackberry. Couldn't take the football cleanly. Hot footy here for the Roos to defend. They battle desperately. They lock it in. They'll get a stoppage 10 metres out from their defensive goal. The Blues still coming in the second quarter. Started very well. They'd love to go in with a couple of goal advantage at half time as they'll go against the Breeze in the third term. Still won it down. Ball towards the line. There's an army of kangaroos. I'm not sure what you call what's the collective now? A mob of kangaroos. There's about 5 of them ushered that ball over the line. Not sure if you can get team deliberate, but they weren't too keen to keep it in. As a result, ball to be thrown back in 10 metres around from the Launceston goal. Thorpe to do the ruck work up against Green. Thorpe in the front. Won it down. A lot of pies around this footy though. Hard to get a clean position out of there. The Roos keep it boundary side. Weberly got a quick kick away towards the defensive 50. Rising high and taking a lovely mark was Hines. And he'll go back and kick for goal if he chooses here. He's got it 45 metres out from goal, Jake Hines. Be a difficult kick with the Breeze almost going across him from this position on the ground. A lot of pies inside the forward 50 here for the Blues. So they've got some space if someone elects to run into it potentially. But he's going to go back and back himself. Blackberry attempts that now, as does the Nell, and he ignores that. And he'll kick from just inside the 50. Across the face. Players to fly. Thorpe from the back. Couldn't take it. Crummer's required at ground level. A lot of Roos defenders lock it up, and they keep it alive for the Blues, searching for their 6th goal of the afternoon.
5-4-34. Launceston 4-3-27, the Roos. A lot of players in this contest. Burgess hooks it to a dangerous position. Hines nearly takes the mark. Still a chance for the Blues here through Blackberry. He's descended upon. And with 3 games on the oval today, you start to see the brown patches in various places where it's starting to get churned up a little bit. We've had a pretty wet week here in Launceston. Ball up. Nobody gets a tap. Now, which way is this going to go? Harper's way, I think. The Clarence player saying the guy was held onto, but JB Harper is going to get the free kick pretty much directly in front, 40 out.
Strange one in the end. The rucks ended up being about 5 metres from that ball when it landed.
And James Holmes, I think it is on the mark, very disappointed. Disconsolate. Harper, usually a pretty good set shot. In he comes, JB Harper. He might have tugged it left, he has. So a miss there, let off there for the Roos. 5-5-35 at Launceston. 4-3-27 to Clarence. Comes out now to Paprotny. Kicks towards the wing. Ball holds up in the breeze. Front position, Groenewegen. Takes a strong mark. Straight away to Hodge. Hodge kicks to the goal square. Thorpe in a wrestle there. Cody Thorpe, does he take it? Has he paid it? He is. Against Sam Green, Cody Thorpe. He's got his hands to a lot of balls today. But eventually he's clunked this one. And shouldn't miss from here. He's about 10 out, 45-degree angle. A few last week, Cody Thorpe, after missing some weeks with suspension. Back in the Tassie footy this year. Very handy acquisition for the Blues. Right behind this one on the stream. Cody Thorpe extends the lead for Launceston. They're out now by 14 points. 6-5-41. Clarence 4-3-27. And that one hurts the Roos a bit there, Rob.
It does. Launceston certainly getting reward for their effort and their pressure. We're heading into the latter part of this quarter, so Clarence would have been happy to go in at half-time, a goal down. But, yeah, just with the way this breeze is a factor, Clarence probably need to change their mindset a little bit for that the next time that they're going into the breeze. But, yeah, that hurts.
Inside 50s this quarter, 10-4 the Blues way. Clarence is pretty even still, 10-9 favouring the Blues, but hit-outs 15-6 Launceston's way. So they're doing pretty well on the ruck now. Jacob steals the ruck against Groenewegen. He wins another tap. Taps into himself. Left foot kick towards half forward. Taken there by Brown to Blackberry. Gets around easily. Left foot centres it to Harper. He might fancy himself from this distance. He's going back as if he's taking a shot. And a late flurry of goals here would really hurt the Roos. They've fought hard so far in this game. JB Harper goes around to his right, plays on. Kick won't quite make the distance, fades away anyway. To the right, one behind. Launceston 6-6-42, Clarence 4-3-27.
Big last couple of minutes for this opening half coming up. Time on second term. Roos under siege at the moment. They come away from full back. They get it 60 metres away from goal and then usher the ball over the line. So they'll get a boundary throw in. Defensive side of the wing for the Roos. The Blues have been dominant in the second quarter after a very competitive opening term. Saw the Roos take a one-goal advantage into quarter time. They clear it here through Weberley. High kick. In the end, no one really flew for the Roos. Mark was spilt. This will give the Roos an opportunity to go forward here. Open forward line. They've got a free kick, centre wing. No one really home. Vacant forward 50. They go short. That kick is ill-directed. Under pressure as a result. Player coming off the bench, laid a tackle immediately. Lucky to get away with that with a ball up there, the Roos.
That was unlucky, wasn't it? He's running to the guy coming off the bench.
Well-timed interchange. 24 and a half.
Free kick.
Downfield? No.
Yep, going to Steele.
So Steele. He's got Howard on short. Kick was just a little bit strong. As a result, Holt got it. Gave it to Hines. Got around the tackle of Howard. Good smother there, though. That was Buchner. Got to ground level. Goes around one. Looking for Preshaw. He slipped over. Wright's got some work to do now at ground level. He's under pressure. Roos locking it in. 60 metres out from goal. Fighting desperately late in this quarter. The umpires picked out a free kick here. It will go the way of the home team. And they can relieve. Hines is on the near side if the kick's good enough, and it gets to him now. Hines got Blackberry further afield. Goes longer than that. Foot race on here, leading up at the football. Was Pitcher. The Roos get back in numbers. Kick, looking for Penwright. Comes to the back. Woolley. Fed it by hand to Blackberry. Back to Hines. Second bite. Little chipping kick over the top is okay. Woolley's got it. He's got Polferman on in the centre. That's a good kick. He goes right across the ground now. Have to be mindful of the time. Brown feeds it by hand to Tuthill on the 50. He goes by hand as well. They might fumble this over the line, the Blues. They do. They'll be disappointed with that. Had an opportunity.
It's a bit of nothing entry in the finish.
It was a strange one in the end. They sort of took it right across the ground and then, just went short into the pocket. fun with the ball over the boundary line. So didn't put the Roos defence under a lot of pressure as they have done on plenty of other occasions in this quarter. Thorpe goes up in the ruck, palmed it down, but the Roos clear it. Playing in front now. Taking the mark is Steele. Half-back flank out of side. Not a lot to kick to. Pack of players down the line. Goes there now. High flyers needed. Now it's a Crummer. Penrite at front. Slipped over. Gave it back. Spinning out of a tackle. But no, he wasn't spinning out of the tackle. In fact, he spun into one. The Blues go forward. Long ball to the square. Blackberry at the back. Can he keep it alive? Blackberry does. Got to go round. Little left foot check side. Got it. Quality finish. He's got his second in the afternoon, Blackberry. And the Blues, they extend this margin late in the second quarter. They've had a very good quarter indeed. They've gone from a score of 2-3-15 at quarter time. They've kicked 5 goals, 3 for the quarter. They're now 48. The margin's out to 21 points. They led Clarence 4-3-27.
Be really interested to see the stats when they come to us at half-time with Blackberry and Hines this quarter. They've certainly been instrumental in lifting Launceston and their efforts, and from a Clarence viewpoint, they've got to do to those guys what Paul Freeman's done to Weberley. They've really got to shut them down. Hines particularly, very, very dangerous this quarter.
Been dominant, Jake Hines.
Back in the middle of Windsor Park. They've just let it slip. With they got within 8 points there not so long ago. 2 quick ones to the Blues through Thorpe and Blackberry. Stretch that lead out. Angustine wins the tap. Weberley off the ground. Only as far as Holtz. And that's half-time here at Windsor Park. And the half-time score is Launceston 7 goals, 6-48. Leading Clarence 4-3-27 in that quarter. As Bart said, it was 5 goals, 3 to 1 goal straight.
Dominant quarter for the Blues, Foz. Dominant indeed. Goal kickers for the half. Jay Blackberry for the home teams kicked 2. Kicked that last one really with seconds remaining in the half. A critical goal before half-time. 2 goals for Clarence to Harper. Then looking at the single goal kickers across the ground. Jake Hines. Dylan Riley's kicked the 1 for the Blues. Jake Smith, Cody Thorpe and Denellen. And then for the visiting team, Penrite kicked 1, as did Tremaine, kicked the goal in that quarter for the Roos.
Rob, your thoughts?
Yeah, look, as we said at quarter time, and I think Tony touched on it from listening to the coach, Mitch Thorpe, we knew that they'd come out firing, and that's exactly what they did. Probably to even exacerbate that, and I touched on that earlier, Clarence sort of backed off a little bit. They really, threw it all up in the air to start with, didn't they? They just said, right, we're going to have a real crack, and they got rewarded, went into their shell. You just can't do that against Launceston. You've got to try and be on the front foot all the time. Yeah, that's help. I mean, when you think about it, I mentioned that margin of 8 points after they kicked their only goal of that quarter. But they just let it slip, and that's the class of Launceston. If you relax just for a short moment in a game or a 5-minute period, they'll bite you. Yes, and they were efficient that quarter going forward, the Blues, kicking, as we said, the 5 goals that they made them pay on the scoreboard. We'll go through groups of stats before we take a break, and don't forget we're going to hear from Richard Bennett at UTAS Stadium in a little while. The hit-outs to half-time, Launceston 25-18, but in that quarter, I noticed Angustine didn't have a lot of time in the ruck, and then Groenewegen really got on top. 17 hit-outs to 8 in that quarter, 25-18 over the half. Clearances, the Roos 19 to Launceston 16. Inside 50s, Launceston 24 to Clarence 16. Marks inside 50, another 7 in that quarter, boys, to the Blues. So 13-1 to half-time. That's a lot of marks inside 50. Free kicks, 14 to Clarence and 8 to Launceston. We'll bring you the Launceston individual stats information later in half-time. But for now, it's time to take a break here on City Park Radio. When we come back, we'll have a chat to Richard Bennett at UTAS Stadium. The score is 7-6-48 Launceston, Clarence 4-3-27.
L-Gas is the smart choice. Make the switch and be rewarded with $80 in LPG account credits when you sign up. Visit the website lgas.com.au or give us a call on 131 161.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Have you considered how much your property is worth?
Or have you thought about selling or just getting a current market valuation? My name is Yvonne.
And my name is Neil. Together we are Team Hawkins at Harcourts Launceston.
Working under the Harcourts banner collectively for over 25 years, we have the experience, training and knowledge to help you get the results you are looking for.
Call us for a free appraisal today and ask to speak with Team Hawkins. Team Hawkins, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
At the arcade bar, it's always the 80s. They've got vintage arcade games and pinballs, classic cocktails and all your favourite beers. Experience a great night out or a drink after work with your favourite music from the 80s at the arcade bar. In the arcade at 97 York Street. Just look for the street signs. Open Tuesday to Saturday from 5 p.m. Mention this ad for 20% off your first drink and check out Facebook or Insta for more on the arcade bar. A sponsor of City Park Radio.
You're listening to Tasmanian State League football on City Park Radio.
Welcome back to Windsor Park, and at half-time it's Launceston 7-6-48 against Clarence 4-3-27. So a pretty competitive game here at half-time. When we look at the other scores, we can see that Glenorchy 9-6-60 lead North Hobart 4 goals straight 24. And in the other game, we've got Richard Bennett, who is at UTAS Stadium, and he's watching the game there between North Launceston and the Tigers. And Richard, welcome to City Park Radio. It's great to have you back. And what's the situation there at UTAS Stadium?
Cheers, Dave. Good day here at the park, and the score is North Launceston 5-5-35 and Kingborough 2-7-19. A close game, and it's really just the poorer kicking from the Tigers at goal that have seized them behind.
So let's talk about the trend of the game, Richard. First quarter looks like it was a pretty even affair.
Yeah, look, it was, and it wasn't until late in the second quarter that there was a goal scored at all. So it's been both backlines under pressure but holding up well. A good game. There was one change in the game. Mark Walsh wasn't able to take his place after that heavy knock he had in the game against Clarence, and North now have yet another debutant, Bailey Mitchell. He's playing his first game, and he's been one of the goal scorers. So the goal scorers for North Launceston, Cox-Goodger, Burt, Chug, Van Dam and Bailey, and for Kingborough, Will Campbell has them both.
Okay, it's interesting, isn't it, Richard? Obviously, your son Fletcher plays with North Launceston. How they've been able to bring these younger players through this year, but their position on the ladder is still a healthy one.
Extraordinary to be able to bring in new players. It seems each and every week. I think they're up to debutant number 17 or 18 now, but to remain competitive is really healthy for TSL football when a club is able to do that. So good for the league.
And Richard, you mentioned there 2-7-19 the Tigers. So have some of those shots been gettable?
Oh, absolutely. Will Campbell had a shot at goal on the siren there for what would have been his third, and yes, two or three of the others were certainly gettable. So it's certainly up for grabs still.
Yeah, I suppose we've got to talk about the Tigers this year because expectations weren't high pre-season. They'd lost a few players, but certainly Trent Borman's got them playing some good footy, Richard.
Look, whilst the kicking for goal hasn't been great today, their field kicking has been really damaging, and they've put the North backline under pressure by moving it quickly through the middle. So, yeah, look, if they can get a bit more of that ball going and tidy up in front of goals, I'm sure North are in for a tussle.
Now, Richie, putting your father hat on for a moment, it's been great to see Fletcher Bennett back in the team, playing some good footy. He had some real injury concerns early in the year, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a knee operation one of the last practice matches, and then of course that kept him out for several weeks, but made his way back through the DLs, and he's having his second game back with the ones. Yeah, he's down back as always. Yeah, it's going okay.
And lastly, Richard, Brad Cox-Goodger, obviously he's taken over the mantle this year from Taylor Whitford, and he seems to be really doing a great job getting, as we say, those young players playing senior footy, but getting some real cohesion in the club.
Yeah, look, the coach-captain combination seems again to be working really well. Jay Ferns, stepped up to captain the side, and they both seem to play, if this is possible, they both seem to play even taller, with that responsibility. And, and I know for a fact that the young blokes around the club, absolutely hang off every word they say and every action they take on field. It's really necessary, isn't it, for the young guys to have that sort of leadership, and it serves North really well.
Absolutely. Well, Richard, we'll get you a cup of coffee or something and get a bite to eat. And
Cheers, mate.
just give us that half-time score again.
I think it must be 5-5, 35 North Launceston to the Tigers, 2-7-19.
Thanks very much for joining us on City Park Radio, Richard Bennett.
Cheers, Dave.
No worries, Richard, thank you very much. And we'll take another break here from Windsor Park. When we come back, we'll set the scene for the second half.
Hello and welcome to The Geeks Review. I'm Royce.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Joshua.
We all love movies and TV, especially the geeky ones. And in our new show, we're going to review the new releases in the cinema and on DVD, because that's just what the internet needs more of. 3 guys talking about movies. From Doctor Who to Star Wars, Terminator to Harley Quinn, and a whole lot more. The Geeks Review, 4 p.m. Thursday on City Park Radio and at Royce Pendergast on YouTube.
Like more than 5.5 million other Australians, you're tuned in to Community Radio.
Community broadcasting is Australia's largest independent media sector, with more than 450 stations nationwide.
It's the home of local voices,
local news and information,
Australian music,
and stories that you won't hear anywhere else. To find out more, go to cbaa.org.au.
And stay tuned to Community Radio.
City Park Radio relies on its members, volunteers and local business to maintain the programs you enjoy. You can support us and our wide variety of programs by making a donation to the station. And we've made it easier for you to donate. Just head to our website on your computer or smart device and click the Donate Now button. Anything over $2 is tax deductible, and it'll support your favourite community radio station. Go on, do it now. Go to our website, cityparkradio.com. Donate now to City Park Radio.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by L-Gas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. L-Gas, call 13 11 61. A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Half-time here at Windsor Park, 7-6-48, Launceston, Clarence 4-3-27. Let's go through a heap of scores here, and also we'll get Barch to have a look at the individual stats in just a moment. AFL still half-time there, and it's the Suns 46, leading North Melbourne 38. And they're just underway, I think, in the third quarter at the MCG. Collingwood 29, trailing Fremantle 53. As far as TSL is concerned, we just heard from Richard there. The score at UTAS Stadium, it's the Northern Bombers by 16 points at half-time. And at North Hobart, that's Glenorchy 60, leading North Hobart 24. Bart, you got the individual stats there.
Yes, we heard Rob say before the break that Hines and Blackbeard obviously been very important in that second term. The stats show that Jake Hines, he's amassed 17 touches for the half. He had 8 again in that second term. Jay Blackbeard had 6 for the quarter after a quiet first quarter, so he's had 9 for the match. Gronner Wigan's been good with 12, Fonte Seymour 11, and Harper 10. And then Webley, he got a little bit busy in that quarter after the 3 in the first term. Took his match tally up to 10 with 7 in the second term.
And Rob, it's been an interesting contest between those two, isn't it? And Webley did get a bit of it in that second quarter, but a lot of it down in that back half.
Yeah, he did. And again, I guess if I was rolling the dice for Clarence, as they really need to do, Dave, at the start of this quarter, you know, I'd have Webley and Harper starting in the middle, and I'd throw Angerstein forward, and I'd empty it out and give him a bit of space to work, get a small in under him. They've just got to do something. They really, really do. And Webley is going to be key to that. You know, an AFL experienced player, senior player in this competition, really needs to lead from the front and lead by example.
Quarter time at the Sartis Grand Final down at the Twin Ovals, and it's GYC 3-1-19 to Scotch Oakburn 1-2-8. Earlier today, St Pat's won the second premiership there. Okay, guys, we've got a few minutes before the umpires and players come back out. Look, what a great thing for Tassie footy it was at UTAS Stadium last Sunday, the Hawthorn-Essendon game.
Yes.
It was a great advertisement for footy in Tasmania.
First time the Bombers had been down here since 1993, I believe, Dave. So it's been great to have some, regular AFL footy in the state. Obviously a sellout crowd, and I saw a lot of frustrated people unable to get tickets to that game. So it was great to see that a good problem to have, that footy's that well supported, that people were unable to go. So obviously Shane people missed out, but great to see that sort of support.
It was fantastic, and again, from a city and a region viewpoint, I mean, the place was buzzing. The cafes were full, the people in the shops, and what a great game of football. what a great game of football.
And Rob, I haven't asked you to put your council hat on yet, but I'm about to here on City Park Radio, because there were plans well publicised last year maybe for an expansion of UTAS Stadium. So where is that at the moment? There were fleshed out plans there, finances, etc. What can you tell the listeners and viewers about that?
Yeah, Dave, that was I guess an ambitious plan, I'd say, a long-term plan. So we felt it really, really important to put that out there going forward. And one of the good things when you've got a plan, you can use that to seek state government, federal government funding, and obviously with the state election behind us and the federal government election in front of us, they'll both be really, really key. And an expansion of the facility, increased capacity, which is really, really important. Those things are crucial going forward.
Basketball, netball facilities maybe there as well?
There was some talk of some expanded sports facilities, and we've seen in other areas. I mean, Windsor Park's a classic example, obviously on a smaller scale of, a sports precinct. We've got the football oval here, the soccer oval and the cricket ground over behind us. Melbourne, obviously, with the precinct there. So that area around UTAS Stadium, is great, going to be great for a precinct area.
Butch, you've seen some developments of UTAS Stadium over the years. I mean, you called footy back in the day when York Park was just undergoing that transition from the old York Park through to what we see today.
There was a very small box that we used to call the footy from there, Foz. It wasn't much bigger than your standard toilet, I'd say, that three of us used to squeeze into. So it's come a long way, and we were talking actually earlier today about that was back in the heyday of the Devils. When the Devils were really firing down here in Tasman. They used to pack the joint out on a regular basis.
They sure did. So, I mean, all the big discussions this week, Tony Cochrane coming out and Peter Gutwin firing back, a bit of theatre and a bit of fun there. But I suppose, whichever way you come down on the AFL team in Tasmania decision, it really needs to be made soon so Tassie footy can sort of map a pathway forward, doesn't it? Because that decision will determine a lot of other things that happen underneath it.
It certainly does, Dave, and I think that you've nailed it. Having that time to be strategic is really important. And one thing, I'm always a real believer is that you learn from mistakes, and one thing that we can learn from is what happened in other jurisdictions with Gold Coast and GWS. So there certainly does need to be a decision so we can map that way forward with venues and how the team's put together and so on.
And even developments like we talked about before. I mean, an AFL team in Tasmania could mean that development can take place.
Absolutely, and prioritising that development. I mean, the council plan is certainly ambitious, but being able to prioritise what gets funded and built first is crucial.
You're listening to City Park Radio, 103.7 and 96.5. Myself, Dave Moore, Luke Grabarczyk, Rob Soward, Dave Gruber on stats, and on the boundary I've seen him emerge from the rooms, Tony Webb. I'll get himself a chance to get settled there, and we'll get down to Tony now.
G'day, thanks for that, Dave. It was fairly quiet in the Launceston rooms. Rob, Mitch took them out into the back room, had a bit of a chat. There's no shouting going on or anything like that. He's a bit more pleased with the effort they've done. He just feels that the midfielders can really begin to run a bit harder, and they'll run Clarence off their feet. He feels that Clarence are on the verge of folding, basically. He didn't say that, but that's my take on it. He thinks if they really get out there and hit him hard this quarter, then they'll come home really strong.
Okay, so a very confident Mitch Thorpe there. Any injury concerns you could see over there, Tony?
No, as I said just before half-time, Joe Blackberry had been off for about 10 minutes, going to have his knee attended to. He came off hobbling, holding the left knee. They bandaged it up just below the knee, and he seems to be moving quite freely now. So Clarence reported no injuries at all, so I think that's been about it thus far.
And finally, Tony, the breeze down there at ground level.
Just picking up right now. If you'd asked me about 20 seconds ago, you're probably feeling yourselves up there, actually, because you're higher up than I am. But yeah, down here it's sort of picking up. I'd like to be kicking with it, put it that way.
Okay, thanks, Tony. We'll talk to you again at three-quarter time.
No worries.
That's Tony Webb there on the boundary. And I suppose that's the thing Clarence have to do this quarter, boys, is try and eke their way in front somehow, and then sort of hold back the fort in that last quarter.
They've given themselves some work to do with those couple of late goals in that second term, but 21-point margin, you'd think Roberts they have to go into the third quarter time break in front if they'd have a chance of winning this game.
Absolutely, Barch. They've really got to roll the dice, and as a coach, you'd much rather go in and throw everything at it for the first 15 minutes and end up getting beat by 10 goals than just coming out and just trying to plod your way through it. The lapses in that just before half time and that late Blackberry goal certainly cost them. But, they've really got to come out. This first 15 minutes is crucial. And just to pick up Tony's remark from Mitch Thorpe, the Clarence defence did so much work in that quarter that does have to take a toll, particularly when you've got such class players in that forward line.
Yes, and I guess too, this time of year the ground's getting a bit heavier too, Rob. A bit more mud that we haven't seen in the first sort of half a dozen rounds of the season. So that back line will be feeling it in the league.
I'm getting tired just watching them battle through it. And
it's that sponginess, hasn't it?
It is.
There's no water laying on top. It's just that churned up mud in certain places. Other areas of the ground aren't too bad. The ball's bouncing okay. Seen worse over the years, that's for sure.
Oh yes, we're spoilt these days. There's no doubt about it compared to what we used to see.
That's right.
Mud patch in the middle and all that sort of stuff. So no, it's not too bad, but they really, really need to roll the dice. Without labouring the point, Clarence have just got to come out and just go for it, and hope to catch them on the hop and set themselves up to be close at 3/4 time.
Okay, back in the middle. Players are set up, ready for the opening bounce for City Park Radio Sport. Here's Luke Grabarczyk.
Still in the ruck to compete against Groningen. Both rose quite high, in fact. Neither really got a clean hand on it. Weberley couldn't knock it to advantage. Came the way of Harper, though. Handball fed back now to Preshaw. They're going backwards, the Roos. That was a 3-metre pass, but it worked. They've got to the outer side now. In the hands of Weberley. He goes short. That's pretty good. Finds Barwick on the chest. Half-forward flank, outer side. What can they muster? They'd be keen for a quick goal or two here, the Roos. They go the long ball, looking for Angerstein. Fell at his feet. Clean bowled everyone. Goes through to the back. Falls over the boundary line. They'll take that, the Roos. They're 20 metres out from goal. Opening minute.
Like it down to Tony quickly.
Yeah, I just had to talk with the Clarence people. Apparently Jez is really happy with the contest. He feels they're competing really strongly and they're in this game.
Thanks, Tony.
They need that first goal, really, if that's to be the case here this afternoon. Time will tell. Blues under a little bit of pressure here. The umpire's picked out a free kick. And he's going the way of Clarence, I think. Is that correct, Rob?
Yeah, it looks like he took his feet just when he went to clear that ball out. So fortuitous, I would say, but nonetheless, it is what it is, and Clarence have got the chance to get on the board early.
Yeah, I've noticed we've seen in the AFL this round a couple of those sort of sliding in under the knees type infringements paid. So
I think it's Jacques Barwick. Barch?
Critical kick coming up. They nailed that one, Tremaine, in the second term. We said it was critical. This one even more so. In he comes now, Barwick. 20 metres out, not a lot to do. Does it comfortably. They've got the first one, the Roos. Critical goal. Keeps this game alive. Trims the margin to 15 points. It's 6-7-48. The Launceston team leading Clarence 5-3-33. Big first goal.
Exactly what they wanted. And again, just looking at, and I touched on that when I rolled the dice with my coach's hat on at half time. It's great to see Angerstein in the goal square, and just look at the size differential between him and his opponent. So, if they make some space for him and hit him up with a good delivery, he's going to be very hard to stop up there.
Back in the centre, and he's been lively inside forward 50 is Jacques Barwick, former North Hobart player, gets himself a goal. Here goes Blackberry though, front edge of the centre square to Riley, can't quite take the mark up against Buchner. Riley tries to pick it up, Buchner kicks it out of bounds on the full, so unlucky there for Zach Buchner. Free kick taken now by Riley. Luke Swinton on the mark. Riley will no doubt go round the corner. He's kicked a few from here in recent times, especially against North Hobart a couple of weeks ago in that electrifying first quarter when he kicked 5. So you're almost back in from here, Dylan Riley. This for the answering goal. Sets it up high. Doesn't make the distance though. Thorpe almost takes a mark unattended there. Garland inside out kick. Beautifully done. And finds Penwright. Penwright short inside the centre square. Back to Penwright from the spoil. Goes up the wing. Smith intercepts. Handball to right. Cruising by now is Tuthill. He kicks wide here looking for Casey Brown. Brown picks it up one-handed. Cruises around. Here looking for Jones. Chopped off though by Tremaine. They're out here, the Roos. Tremaine gets it to Steele. Now to Oliver Preshaw, who kicks towards attacking 50. Angerstein all on his own. Another goal to Clarence. They worked it out beautifully. Turnover in the middle of the ground. And big Ollie Angerstein kicks the goal. And that's Clarence's 6th.
Well, just what they needed to start this third quarter. And just a little bit of a mistake. Opened the door turnover, Rob, and away they went.
Yeah, absolutely. And we said, Clarence really had to throw everything into the wind, and that's exactly what they've done.
Second time today, Rob, they've got a goal from that 45 kick in the middle of the ground. Just not hitting the mark, and then they swept it away.
No, that's right. And we did touch on that earlier, Dave. Launceston not as clean as usual when it comes inside, and Clarence making them pay.
Two quick goals to start this third term with the breeze. Really has the Roos right back in this contest. 9 points adrift, but they've got the best part of this third quarter to go with the breeze. So they'll fancy their chances from here. Nice mark there. The Blues into attack. Looking for Thorpe. Comes up. Good fist from Garland from behind. Got towards Holmes. Free kick will go the way of the Roos. They pay advantage. They go through the centre square. Hitting up was Barwick. Comes away now. Goes out wide looking for Tremaine. Foot race. He's beaten to the football. The Blues have a couple there. Ball spills towards right. Applies some pressure now. Does well right. Picked his pocket. Goes over the top towards Holt. Takes the mark. Plays on immediately. Kicks up the wing. And that is a good kick in the end. Finds Braden Pitcher. Out of side, comes back inside, looking for Seymour, takes it in the hands. Seymour already out from goal, turns and goes. Back inside to Taylor, centre half forward. Brings it across the ground to the broadcast side with Smith. Open forward line. Leeds coming, looks towards Thorpe now, goes in that direction, going to be further than that. Gets the back in Riley, quick kick around the body. Riley's got it. Got through the hands of the defender. Riley was at the back, had plenty of time in the end, went around the body. And a steadying goal for the home team, Rob.
Yeah, and it's, the poor defence was a defensive error there. I mean, Launceston certainly a nice inside 50, but, I get the impression the Clarence defender was called ball watching, and you certainly can't have nothing between Dylan Riley and the goals because he's going to do exactly what he did then.
3 goals in 5 minutes, Barch. Entertaining stuff.
Oh, it's been a great game so far, Foz, and for those that are in the area, get down for what should be a good second half.
Beautiful sunshine here. Winter's Day, 26th of June. And good footy happening. So Clarence came at Launceston early, but the Blues with a settler to that man Dylan Riley. 53 goals now this year. Up it goes. Beautifully sharked here by Hines. Away they go, the Blues inside 50. Riley front position. He's there again. He's got it. He's tackled. It's by Buchner. And they can't escape the clutches there of the ex-Tassie Devils, Zach Buchner. Good tackle laid.
Just quickly in the AFL, Foz, Dockers by 2 goals. The Roos back in front, leading it by a goal.
Thorpe, front position, wins the tap towards Riley. Does a bit of basketball dribbling. Can't pick it up. Lays on it. Another ball up.
Launceston have been really, really good around the stoppages all year. They've been really good this quarter out of the centre. So this is danger time for Clarence. They can't let them score.
Comes straight towards Seymour, who kicks the goal for the Blues. Read it beautifully from the tap. Cody Thorpe and Fletcher Seymour combining there. Seymour has to be asked how he got so much space from that contest, but he converted from 30 out directly in front. 2 goals apiece in this quarter.
Clearly the Clarence box wasn't listening to us.
They'd be disappointed with 2 goals there, Rob, with you sort of feel a little bit of poor setup, or it got behind Ryan, get that one, and it came away from the stoppage and had space in front of him.
He just daylight in front of him. Fletcher Seymour, a real quality in for Launceston. Missed a few games earlier in the year with injury, but with the addition of him and Harper, they certainly have added some depth to that midfield, that's for sure, and a great goal from Fletcher.
Yeah, he's had 11 possessions to half time, so started this quarter pretty well. 2 goals apiece, entertaining stuff. Out comes Preshaw, left foot kick to half forward for the Roos. Gee, that was a good spoil there from Woolley, showing all his experience. Hand passes to Palfreyman, who kicks it to the boundary. This is looking a bit iffy. Umpire says throw it in.
I think good decision. I think that was a skill error. I think he was actually looking to bend that round the body. So,
gee, Bart, you're a generous man.
Well, I've kicked plenty of them the wrong side of the ball in my life, so I know what it's like.
Well, you better take over the commentary. I'm shaking me.
Rucks compete. Steele up against Leedham. Steele got to ground level and then hurried a kick forward. Ball's on the ground here. A lot of players around this footy. Hurried kick forward for the Blues. Hines comes up, took it. Shot out a handball. That worked pretty well. Opens the way now. They come away. Miller Hodge. They've got over the top here. The Blues into a bit of space. Back with Hodge. Aided by a Holt Shepherd. Goes to the outer side. 2-on-2. Pitcher. Both Launceston players fly in the end. They come down with the mark. Can't quite pick up who that player is there on the outer side.
Casey Brown.
It is Casey Brown. So he comes inside forward 50 now. Falling over was Thorpe, and going back and taking the mark with the flight of the ball was Tremaine. Garland gave him some space. The kick from Tremaine will set Steele a task, the big man. Does well. Took it on the bounce, tries to get round Leadham. Leadham does well, corrals him. Kick inside to Preshaw. Weberley tried to fend off a Thorpe tackle. Thorpe said, "You're not doing that." But the umpire says, "I'll ball it up." Probably a little bit lucky there, perhaps, Weberley, Rob.
Yeah, he was really, really lucky. And again, I wouldn't have gone back inside from there either. He certainly said, well, Weberley a challenge. He got seized upon by Thorpe.
Probably Ruckman trying to pick off a short 45, maybe not the best option. Anyhow, the Blues come away. Hines, handball over the top, puts Hodge into some space. Short kick out in front of Seymour. Kick that last goal. Back onto the left. Kick over the top, high ball. Having to sit under this will be Hodge, and takes the mark. A little bit too easy in the end. A high ball. He sat under it, Hodge, and took a pretty comfortable mark in the end. 30 metres out from goal. And this would really hurt the Roos.
Clarence players spoiled each other there, didn't they? If you look at them, both just got up off the ground, ran into each other, and Hodge with a great mark.
So he's 30 metres out, no angle to speak of really for Miller Hodge. And this would be their third in a row. The breeze seems to have died down too, Robert. It's still there, but looks to be pretty light, and they're doing some good work into it, the Blues. He comes in, kick on the way, looks pretty good, looks very good in fact. The Blues have 3 in a row. They extend that margin. They go to 10-6, 66. Margin's back out to 27 points. Game high margin, in fact. They lead Clarence 6-3, 39.
Yeah, footy changes quickly, doesn't it? Yeah. You know, Clarence with 2 quick goals and looked like they were, really on the way back. But Launceston, as great sides do, lift the bar.
And today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Here with Dave Moore, Luke Rabarchik, Rob Soward, Dave Gruber on stats, Tony Webb on the boundary. Hope you're enjoying the radio broadcast today. Also simulcast on the AFL Tas live stream. So Clarence kicked the first 2. Launceston answered with the next 3. 5 goals in 10 minutes. Great stuff here at Windsor Park. In the centre of the ground, taken by Polfram, hands it to Blackberry. Left foot inside 50. Riley in the box seat, but nice mark in front by Sam Green. Read it nicely, the young man. Back in the side today. Sam Green. Kick's not great. Chopped off by Hines. They'll go back inside 50.
They've done a good job of keeping the ball in that forward half, I think, this quarter so far, Rob.
Yeah, they have. Again, Launceston's really ramped that up. Players like Hines, about to come back in again, Hines and Seymour.
Holmes torpedo outside defensive 50, but marked here by Tuthill. Forming that wall there across the centre of the ground. Now
50.
They've got a 50. I presume it's from moving off the mark. Haven't seen that a lot. Got a lot of publicity pre-season that, and we thought there'd be lots of 50s. But they've got one on this occasion.
Looked like Tremaine. He's sort of asking the umpire about it now. He's wishing he could disappear at the moment, I think. He's quite sheepish.
Jack Tuthill, not a noted goal kicker. Comes around, little stutter, gets a bit of rhythm. Jack Tuthill kicks his first goal. And the backman, ever reliable, Jack Tuthill, kicks the 10th for Launceston, 4 in a row. And it's now out over the 5-goal margin. 11-6-72, 6-3-39. And that's the second time today we've seen a 50-metre result in the goal. We saw Jay Blackberry get one early in the day, and now Jack Tuthill robbed.
Yeah, you just can't do that. I made that point earlier. You know, that's just silly. And whilst Tuthill's not a noted goal kicker, you know, he is very clean by foot, so you just can't set someone up 30 metres out, can you?
What wasn't a conventional approach, but got the job done. Tuthill, a little bit of a sort of a Josh Kennedy stuttering approach, but straight through the middle.
Not one out of the coach's textbook, that's for sure, but effective.
The Kangaroos now getting away from the Suns by 13 points, 8-11 to 7-4.
Play restarts here at Windsor. Comes over the top to Gronawegan. He's in trouble. Angerstein back into the ruck for the Roos. Opposed to him. Blackberry has the football now. Short kick. Looking for Taylor, but reading it better. There was Paprotny. He goes short as well. That's okay to the man Whitemore. The commentator killer this afternoon. Changing jumpers. He kicks from centre half back. Looking for Angerstein. That had the height advantage and takes a nice mark in the hands. Gives it away. Actually sold his teammate into a little bit of trouble there. They've got time to mop up. Handball goes back to Holmes. They now go forward, and this could work if the ball will sit. They're in business here, the Roos. Short kick out in front of Is that Weberly drifting down in the forward line? No, it was Tremaine, in fact. Couldn't take the footy, though, Tremaine, and the Blues will clear. Polframan, but going back and taking a nice mark. There was Beerley. Goes by hand. Now to Harper. Harper looking for Preshaw in the pocket. Good mark. Good mark. Metres inside the boundary line, Preshaw. Took it under all sorts of pressure. Squaring kick is okay. Finds Buchner. Umpire says not 15. Play on. And they've got a...
Thrown out.
Oh, dear. Probably, I think we've seen a lot of marks in all sorts of footy paid that sort of distance. So probably a little bit unlucky there, the Roos. But nevertheless, Pine was called, didn't dispose of the football, and the Blues have it. Short kick to Blackberry. That was certainly 15. And it's paid. So Blackberry still inside his defensive 50 here. Fairly stagnant up ahead of the ball. Goes close to the boundary, looking for Danella. It's a beautiful kick. Allowed him to run onto it and take the mark in the end on the chest. Squaring kick. Maintaining possession here, the Blues. They go short again. This will be cut off, though. And all of a sudden, the Roos can reload here. Corey Lovell. Kick to a 2-on-1. Preshaw took a nice mark moments ago. Can't repeat the dose. They go off the ground. There's a lot of Launceston players around this football. One of them is Blackberry. His kick to the outer side is good. Finds Brown. Right on his defensive 50. Brown. Good kick looking for Smith. Among three, Roos goes up. Free kick, I think, paid for chopping the arms, taking the body. Critical contest there. Smith, he had to win it. He had four opponents around him. Did the job. Gets over to Polframan. He can go inside 50 now. He's got a free player on him, Pitcher. Just inside the boundary line, 45 from home. Pitcher to the danger zone. Looking for Thorpe. Thorpe to fly. Run under the footy. Garland did a good job. Got his man under the ball. Ball still alive here, though, for Launceston. Handball comes out the back. Now to Seymour. Under pressure. Quick kick around the body. Taking it nicely on the bounce was Harper. Sorry, not Harper. That was Taylor, in fact. Miller Hodge went in, got to Pitcher. He kicks the top of the square. Groenewegen there. Desperate spell from Angerstein. Did very well, the big man. Came to Harper at ground level. Got a handball back to Green. Green, under pressure. Good kick to the middle of the ground. They're away the Roos.
Mark taken there by Penwright. It's corralled there by Hines. Great kick by Penwright to the advantage of Steele. It's going to bounce on the spongy turf. Can still... Oh, he can't quite have clean hands when he needed to. Tapped out now to Chilcott. Turnover. Smith with a lot of territory in the middle. Can run on if he wants. He decides to square it up. Hodge or Wright. Take your pick. Hodge will have Wright as an outlet if he wants him. But he steadies things down. The big fella Steele there. He just had to get it cleanly. And he's away on goal. Liam Jones.
They're going to trim that margin, Foz. They need to take every opportunity.
That's right. Liam Jones, he coughs it up here to Cowie. Cowie, open 50 ahead. Left foot. Which way will it bounce? It's going to bounce favourably. It's through for a goal. And a great goal there for Ryan Cowie. Hasn't had a big day possession-wise, but he's made it count there, the youngster. And that's Clarence's 7th goal, 7-3-45, just staying in touch. Launceston 11-6-72.
They've had a couple unlucky bounces. That one wasn't dramatic, Rob, but they've just had a couple go their way in the goal square.
Right out of the front of the hand, that one. Beautiful. But luck's of fortune, and as you called, Barch, they really needed that goal. You know, that's crucial. We're heading towards the end of the quarter, and that breeze we know will be a factor.
So 18 minutes gone, third quarter. They trim the margin to 27 points. The visiting Roos have got some work to do if they're to stay in this contest. They would like to get that back to within a couple of goals if they'd have any sort of chance in this game. Harper took it from the ruck contest. He was dispossessed immediately, wrapped up in a tackle. We'll have a restart. Any scores there, Foz, for us?
Yeah, 10 points North Melbourne in front of the Suns, 8-14 to 8-4.
Tight game down at Blunston. Tight games everywhere across the state today. The Roos staying in this one desperately in the third quarter. I'd love another one here. They go forward from the centre square restart. Ball is now 55 metres out. We'll have a ball up.
The other game, Bart, sorry, it's 18 points Fremantle over Collingwood.
Dockers keeping in touch with that top 8, so a big game for them. Collingwood, of course, under new coach Robert Harvey this afternoon. A lot of eyes on that game as well. Here's Jay Blackberry. Good tackle made. Might have got a handball away, but the umpire said no, you were taking the ground. That's a free kick. So Preshaw, 60 metres from home. Crowded forward line. Who's he got down there? Lead comes now from Wall in the pocket. Goes in that direction. Won't get there still. dropped what he should have taken in the end, fell in his lap still, has time to regather it inside the boundary line, kicks to the top of the square, all Blues back there. In the end, they are happy to take it through from behind and restart, so they trim the margin by 1 there, the Roos, getting it back towards 4 goals now, 25 points. Kicking is good, finds right, 30 metres out from his goal, in which he's defending. So players right across the ground here. Looks like he's going to go to the outer side. Couple of contests there, the big men to fly. In the front there was Green, couldn't take the mark. Came to ground level. Denellen goes in, little hurried kick, doesn't go far. The Roos should get this football away from here, and they do. Green sends a high one to the pocket. Free kick played, and it will go the way of Clarence. Holding on.
Wade Wall.
Wade Wall, he's been a target a couple of times in the last 5 minutes. He's a big unit. Drew the free kick, and this is a critical kick if they are to be a chance here this afternoon. Currently a 26-point margin. This to narrow it back towards 3 goals, Rob.
Yeah, just critical. I've been a little critical of Clarence's delivery into their forward line. I mean, luck's the fortune again there. He snagged the free kick, but he's got to kick it. Here he comes. Wall. 30 metres out. Tightish angle. Drop punt on its ways across the face. Never really gave it a chance in the end. Lucky to squeeze in for a minor score. So doing all the attacking in the last 5 minutes here, the Roos. They need to make some inroads on the scoreboard, however. Where do they go from the restart, the Blues? They take a few metres. They kick it towards the boundary line on this broadcast side. Number of players up for the ball, one of which was Harper. Hines took his man down where he probably didn't have the ball. Umpire didn't see that, having to let it go. He calls for a stoppage now. Half-back flank for the home team. Third quarter, halfway through. In fact, we've now ticked into time on in the third quarter. They'll be desperate for another couple here with the breeze, the Roos. Steele took it from his opponent in the ruck contest, then hurried a kick forward. He'll be lucky if this stays in. In fact, it doesn't, so the Blues will come away from their back line.
It's in the back pocket for Launceston. Boundary throw in. Dave Gruber's stats here. Inside 50s, 6 to Launceston, 8 to Clarence in this quarter, so they've had more of an inside 50, the Roos. And clearances, Launceston 6 to 4. From the hit out, Wall gets it, but only straight to Hines. And looks like Hines is holding the ball. Good snare there, Rob. It's going to be a free kick. Wait for the player to emerge.
Preshaw, is it?
I think it is Jack Preshaw.
It was a great tackle. Hines ignored the first option, went to go the second and too long and dropped it.
So Jack Preshaw, tough on baller. Those improving Clarence players in the last couple of seasons. They really need this one. This would trim the margin back to 20 points. 47 plays, 72. In fact, back to 19 points if he can convert. Jack Preshaw, left footer, aims it beautifully. Yes, it's a goal. And they're right in at the Clarence Roos. 19 points of difference. 8-5, 53, 11-6, 72.
So they've now narrowed that margin from half-time after that flurry of goals to the Blues sort of early in that quarter. It was a 21-point margin, as I said, back to 19. So 3-goal game, Rob. Still up for grabs.
Certainly give them some heart too, because again, as we've said this quarter, there hasn't been a few goals scored. Side scoring quickly, so
9 goals to be exact, Rob.
Yeah,
5 to 4. So
fantastic.
Still got a few minutes to play out yet.
Yes, entertaining contest here this afternoon, no doubt about that. Top 4 clash. The Roos really taking it up to their much more fancied opponents. And as we said at the start of the game, one does wonder what may have happened had they had a couple more of those senior players back in the Roos. So will that ill discipline come back to bite them? Now, plays restarted here. Blackberry was legged as he came away from the ruck contest. They're calling for 50 here. Umpire says not on this occasion. So Preshaw kicked that last goal, stands the mark. Jay Blackberry sends a long ball down towards his attacking 50 on the outer side. Seymour went for the mark at the second grab. Good little handball there. Came from Marvel. And now the mark is taken by Preshaw, the goal kicker from minutes ago. Has it on the outer side. Preshaw, this is a good-looking ball. Up from Penwright. Took it on the chest. Lucky enough to take the mark. Maybe could have extended the hands, but he's got it. He sends a low ball. Bullet-like inside forward 50. But it's cut off there by Harper. Comes across the ground now to Brown. So he's got Hines running for him if he wants to go there, and he does. It's a good kick. Jake Hines has it in front of Steele. Been very good this afternoon, Jake Hines. He just loops one over the top. Nice kick.
That hum you can hear in the background is a whole heap of motorbikes on West Tamer Road.
I had them, they actually drove in with me, Foz. I thought they were giving me an escort to the game to make sure I was here on time. They kept going, but they've come back and obviously not going to send me back down south. In the meanwhile, Smith has the football. 90 metres out from goal, sends it 40 metres out. Now Riley flew high, couldn't take the mark. Preshaw took the ball, fended one off. That was Pitcher. The umpire says it is holding the ball. It's a tough one, that, because he's tackled immediately, but as soon as you put that hand up to fend, you're no better off just taking the tackle and sort of wrapping up sometimes. So, tough one, probably the right call. Seymour looks for Thorpe. Kick looks a little strong. Who's at the back? That was Harper. Couldn't take the mark. Danger here now for the visitors. They can't afford to give one away. Barwick did well at ground level. Got it out, and they're away. Penwright. Long kick to the outer side. Sets a task for Howard. He's got to beat a couple. Won't sit for him, and the Blues will clear. They've got all the numbers here across half-back. Little kick is all right. Comes to Woolley. He now brings it back to Smith. A bit of deja vu where we were minutes ago. Smith kicked it toward two teammates, landed in the middle of those. Pitcher has no choice but to lay a tackle, and they'll take that, the Blues. They'll get a forward 50 stoppage. 50 metres out from goal, 45-degree angle. Late going in the third term, Foz.
The 233s out there. Luke Swinton, who was the hero here last year. That winning goal against Braden Pitcher. Angus Stein gets it down to Pitcher to Seymour right on the boundary line. Dunellan happy to see it over. So 25 minutes gone, 20 points the margin, 5 goals to 4 in this quarter. The breeze is sort of dropping away, so it may not be a factor in this last quarter. Clarence perhaps within reach.
Can't let them score here though, can they?
Absolutely not. So they don't want to get out 4 or 5 goals, that's for sure. Taken there by Preshaw. He's tackled once again. It's time. Ball up.
Interesting, they've put Angus Stein up into the ruck too. Maybe just giving themselves a little bit of ascendancy around these stoppages late in the term, Rob.
The out's pretty even this quarter, Barch. They got away in the second quarter, the Blues, but 9 apiece in this quarter. Taken by Harper. Releases a shot towards goal. Riley flies. Can't take it. At the full Pitcher. What's this going to do? It's going to land in the square. A lot of players around the contest. Falls to Thorpe. Fumbles. Riley's got it. Taken in a tackle.
No tackle.
That should be holding the ball. Same by co-commentators. That's not forthcoming.
We'd blown the whistle, Foz.
That's what I'm sort of saying there, Rob. If he had fended off, it's nearly a free kick because he doesn't fend.
Yep.
Yes.
They give him the chance and say no benefit of the doubt. So play, ball up, 20 metres out from goal here for the Blues. In attack, tackle late. They're keeping it in here, the home side. They know how important a goal late here would be. We've got 26 minutes gone in the third quarter. It's a 19-point margin to the home team. They wouldn't feel 100% comfortable with that. They've been good this term, the Roos. What can they do? Weberley lays a tackle. Had the Launceston player by one arm. He couldn't possibly get rid of that. So a good tackle, and Weberley is rewarded. Can they sneak a late one here? 27 minutes ticked over. Weberley goes short. That's dangerous, but it's okay. They come away now, the Roos. Can they move this quickly? Up towards Penwright. Spilt the mark. Gave a chance there for Woolley. Little kick off the outside of the boot from right. Lands at the feet of Pitcher. He's got time. Oh, came hard in Penwright, but Pitcher kept his composure. Sends it to the top of the square now. Riley there. No one can take the mark. No, he can, Dylan Riley. Second attempt. It was among 5 players. Got his hands to it, and then no one sort of took the second grab, and Dylan Riley said, well, how lucky is this? I'll take it 30 metres out from goal.
He's so strong in the contest, isn't he, Rob?
He is so strong in the contest, and he's got that unique ability. You mightn't see him for 25 minutes, and you think, oh, they're doing all right on him, and all of a sudden up he pops.
He's had some opportunities this afternoon, of which he hasn't taken. He's still got 2 goals. Comes in now for a critical shot.
Missed it.
And he's missed it. He's missed it from 30 metres out directly in front. That one really would have made it difficult, so it just keeps this game alive. It's a 20-point margin. The Roos, they bring it away with a long ball. Sets Penrite task. At the back is Howard. He's got some work to do. Coming across his right. There's the siren. Will that be a costly miss for Dylan Ryan? It's a 20-point margin at three-quarter time. We've got a game here at Windsor Park. Launceston lead 11-7-73. Clarence 8-5-53. 1 quarter to go. Big quarter in the season, particularly for Clarence. Goal kickers. Let's have a look at what we've got this afternoon. Home team, all just really singles and a couple of 2, so no major goal kicker for either team. Jay Blackberry's kicked 2, as has that man Dylan Riley we commented on minutes ago. And then for Clarence, Harper has kicked 2. and then all singles to other players. Launceston, Hines has one. Hill kicked that memorable goal for him in the third quarter. Fletcher Seymour one, Miller Hodge one, Jake Smith.
Three-quarter time stats, thanks to Dave Group. Clarence with Angerstein back in the ruck. They were 12-9 in their favour in that quarter, but 34-30, the Blues way over the day. Clearance is really close, 26 to Launceston, 24 to Clarence. The inside 50s, 33 to Launceston, 24 to Clarence, 9 apiece in that quarter. Marks inside 50, 15 to Launceston, 2 to Clarence. And free kicks, 20 to the Roos and 14 to the Blues. We'll take a break here on City Park Radio and the TSL live stream. Three-quarter time, Launceston 11-7-73, Clarence 8-5-53.
When it comes to your home or your local business, L-Gas is the smart choice. Make the switch and be rewarded with $80 in LPG account credits when you sign up. Whether it's cooking, hot water or heating, L-Gas has got you covered. For $80 in LPG account credits, visit the website lgas.com.au, download the L-Gas app or give us a call on 131 161. L-Gas. Local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
I've been watching the decluttering TV shows and I've been inspired and motivated. My first task was to sort out old jewellery boxes from my mum, Auntie Jean and my own collection. Single gold earrings, broken and outdated gold jewellery. It's amazing how much I found. I took the lot to cash converters, received a very tiny amount of cash, and now I'm off to enjoy a nice little break with the proceeds.
Right now, cash converters are paying top prices for gold. So cash in your unwanted jewellery today. Cash Converters Kings Meadows. Trusted and locally owned for 25 years. A proud sponsor of City Park Radio.
At Tassie Tyres, they're about you and your safety on Tasmanian roads, especially with the changing of the season. Locally owned and operated Tassie Tyres pride themselves on their exceptional customer service to ensure every detail concerning your tyres and vehicle safety is covered. For all your tyre and servicing needs, visit the team at Tassie Tyres today, located in Kings Meadows, or if you're up the coast, they're at Formby Road, Devonport. Tassie Tyres, a proud sponsor of City Park Radio.
L-Gas is the smart choice. Make the switch and be rewarded with $80 in LPG account credits when you sign up. Visit the website lgas.com.au or give us a call on 131 161.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
You're listening to great TSL action, Tasmanian State League football on City Park Radio.
Welcome back here to Windsor Park, and it's a pretty tight contest at three-quarter time. Launceston 11-7-73, Clarence 8-5-53. AFL, the Roos lead by 2 goals over the Suns. Roos have been a bit inaccurate. They're 8-16-64 to 8-4-52. And pretty close now between the Dockers and Collingwood. The Dockers only lead by 6 points with about 14 minutes to go in that game. Other TSL games this afternoon at UTAS Stadium, North Launceston 3-1 in that third quarter, so they now lead 8-7-55 to 3-9-27 at the North Hobart Oval. It's Glenorchy 13-9-87 to North Hobart 7-2-44. Bart, you got the individual stats information.
Jake Hines, he's been the dominant player, continues to be the dominant player on the ground this afternoon. He's had 23, including 15 kicks. Fletcher Seymour 18 and then 15 apiece to Blackberry, Hodge and Harper. And then that man we've been looking at for the visitors, Weberley, who had 10 to half time, only 2 disposals in that third term, so they've taken him right out of the game. Yeah,
it's sort of been an inconsistent game so far for Jeremy Weberley. Tony Webb has been at the three-quarter time huddles, and Tony, what do you got for us?
Look, overall, Mitch was fairly pleased with that quarter. He said there were a couple of lapses at the start of the quarter that led to Clarence kicking their first 2 goals. I think both were from fair distance, turnover goals basically. He said after that we tightened up, we played it on our terms to a fair degree, got out to about 30 points, and then we did a couple of stupid things and let them back into it. So he's talking about greater concentration, applying more pressure. He was disappointed in the tackle count. He feels that you're sort of floating along expecting it to happen, so you need to make it happen. And yeah, it was just calling on the leaders to actually rally the troops a bit when they lose their way, if they slow down at the wrong time. He said kill time if you need to, but don't do it inappropriately. And I think that's where he was getting at the leaders to say you need to be calling the tunes out there rather than us having to do it from the sidelines. And Tony, it seems like a quiet day on the injury front. Yeah, which is good. Actually, the last 2 visits here, no one's got injured. May that continue. Thanks, Tony. We'll hear from you at the end of the game. No worries. Tony Webb there on the boundary as the sun starts to bathe us here on the balcony of the Windsor Function Centre. We love that. And a bit of a chilly day, but it's been a really good day for footy today. Ground a little bit wet after the recent rain, but it's come up pretty well. Last quarter action, City Park Radio and the TSL live stream. Here's Luke Grabarczyk.
Groenewegen won it down almost unopposed in the end. Steele elected not to jump for that footy, so Groenewegen won it down, but they were immediately taken in a tackle of the Launceston team by Harper. Play restart. Steele wins this one down, but Harper takes it at ground level. Fed a handball out to no one in particular. Body's going quite willingly into that contest. It's slapped out wide now. They'll have the first forward 50 entry this last term with the home team. Spoil comes from behind. Crummer's required. Good tackle, desperate tackle made there for the Roos. Not sure if it's going to be rewarded. I think it is going to be rewarded. So they'll get a free kick. Clarence, 30 metres around from their defensive goal. First minute of this last quarter. First goal absolutely critical. If the Roos can get it, we might have an upset perhaps on the cards. But if the Blues get it, really 4 goals against the Breeze will be a bridge too far, one would think. This kick coming away from the defensive half for the Roos is errant. Goes out of bounds on the full, outer side wing. Miller Hodge to take the free kick. Hang on, the umpire's confirming saying no, it was touched off the boot. So in fact not a bad result for the Roos. They'll get a throw in on the outer wing. Play to restart. So Steele starting the quarter in the ruck. They've really rolled the 3 big men through that roll today. Steele to get us underway in this last quarter. They come inside the forward 50 here, the Blues. Looking for Riley, but that was cut off. Didn't get to him in the end. And the Roos see it over the boundary line. We'll have another throw in. So a slowish start to this last quarter. The Blues have already taken a minute and a half off the clock. And they maintain really the same margin we've had since half-time. It was a 19-point margin at half-time. We've now got a 20-point margin early going in the last quarter. Round the body goes right. God, unable to take the mark there was Taylor. Fell on his ankles. Just couldn't quite half-volley it. Ball still up for grabs. Players go in. Handball came looking for Green. He overran the football. Goes out of bounds once more. We'll have another boundary throw in. See if you can get us away from this little bit of a stalemate to start the quarter off.
Yeah.
No worries.
I'm just watching Jake Hines. Harper's running with him, but he's really got to work him tight, not give him any space.
Weberley, quick kick out of the contest to half back. Paddling it along there is Smith towards Blackberry. Picking it up there was Chilcott. He's tackled. The ball up. Front edge of the centre square. As Bart said, first goal is really crucial here. This tight game. Angustine gets the tap out. Through goes Preshaw. Kicks towards half forward. Jacques Barwick there. Not a great effort there from Barwick, it has to be said. Up against Tuttle, who took the mark pretty comfortably. Out wide now to Pitcher. Pursued by Weberley. Pitcher takes it. Right foot kick inside 50. Wide. Too wide. Out of bounds on the full. Clarence to get the relieving free kick in the back pocket. Players now with the sun setting to the northeast. Hands over there shielding their eyes. Long kick out of defence. Spills to the back here to Oliver Preshaw. Can't get out of a tackle. Out of bounds.
Football really stuck on that outer side, Rob, but the Blues won't mind that. They've taken probably, 3 minutes off the clock?
Yeah, they have. They'd be really, really happy with that. Clarence need goals, and the clock is not going to be their friend.
2 results so far today. Clarence won the under-18s and the Launceston Blues won the D-League. Taken here by Harper. Kicks to half forward. Spoiled by House. Was he over the shoulder? He was on Steele. Not happy is House, but Steele takes it. Gets the handball away. Towards attacking 50, Jacques Barwick on the boundary line. But they're inside 50. First one for the Toon Groups, yes. For the Clarence Roos, front of the club rooms. Players vocal. It's going to be House and Steele going for this ruck contest. House front position. Taps it down. Does it well. Gets it to Tuthill. Relieving kick. Here they go, the Blues. Rebound footy. Handball comes out towards Hines. Takes control of the footy. Good tackle by James Holmes. Gets the handball just in time, does Hines. Good work there from Lovell. Paprotny. Back to Green. Off one step. Green kicks it to the wing. Thump away there by Gronewagen. He's got it again, the big fella. Preshaw. Tackled. Incorrect disposal. Free kick Launceston.
A little bit unlucky there, perhaps. There was a number of free kicks could have been paid in that passage of play. The umpire let it go. In the end, the Blues won the footy. Smith has it. Little looping kick over the top, looking for Hines. Had to sit and wait. In the meantime, some pressure arrived. Hines did well, though. Fed a handball out from ground level. They keep it in their forward half here, the Blues, but they're not going anywhere. Tackle made. So it's been a fairly tough start to this last quarter.
Nice little shout out to Ryan Cowie there. Put the spoil on Hines. Hines could have been away there if he took that mark.
Yes, critical that they realise they cannot afford. They've probably got to kick all the goals really in this last quarter, the Roos, if they're to win this game. They'll need to kick 4 without the Blues scoring a major. And they're doing that at the moment, but they haven't been able to make any inroads themselves. Paprotny, he'll try and change it. This is a good kick, an attacking kick. Sends him away from half-back via Holmes. He kicks over the top looking for Barwick to run onto this ball. Still an opportunity here for the Roos, but the Blues defenders arrive now. Leg coming away from that contest, and the umpires picked it up. So they'll have an opportunity here to slow down again and take it. That's Liam Jones taking that football there. He's at the point of the centre square, back edge of it. Kick is all right. They maintain possession out of side. They elect to come now to this near side. Miller Hodge sits and waits. He can go the top to right. Wright wasn't looking. He was running on. Had plenty of time, though, to go back and pick up the ball. Goes back to Hodge now. Little ball is okay for Smith. So Jake Smith, centre wing. What's he got up ahead? He's got Leadham down the line. He goes shorter than that. That's okay for Blackberry. Fairly crowded forward line. Every player in the half of the ground at the moment. Blackberry says, I'm just going to go long down the line towards Leadham. Tall timber there. Back to back Leadham. And over the back, taking a nice mark, drifting in from the side.
Jake
That
Hines.
might have been Hines, was it? In fact, gee, wonderful mark. Sort of carried the pack, maybe just with the breeze. And Hines from nowhere came down with the football. So he has the opportunity to kick this all-important goal we've been talking about. They've taken 7 minutes off the clock, and Jake Hines can go back and put a nail in the coffin of the Roos in this final quarter. He'll kick from 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. Comes in now, left foot kick. Looks pretty good off the boot for Jake Hines. He's put it through the middle. That's a critical goal. They extend the margin to 26 points here, the home team. Jake Hines, he's got it. And all of a sudden, it's out to a 26-point margin. And Jake Hines, he's kicked 2 for the afternoon. He joins Jay Blackburn and Dylan Riley as the multiple goal kickers for Launceston. Harper has 2 for the Roos.
Yeah, look, you know, you wonder at this level how a guy like Jake Hines can get the space he does. I mean, he's a quality player, but we know that in the modern game, midfielders have got to play both ways. And Harper for Clarence and Webley at times has been playing near him. They want to run forward but not run back. And Hines is quality. He's going to punish you, and there's a great mark and a great finish.
Yes, critical finish. Play restarts.
As Webley taps to himself, gets a little handball backwards. Oh, that player tackled there. That was Burgess. Free kick Launceston. Play on now to Palfreyman. He's good from range. Kicks towards the square. Thorpe in there with a wrestle. But a good mark taken there by Garland. Cross fullback using his experience there. Gets it to Swinton. Luke Swinton telegraphs the handball. Now delivers it. Sam Green against the boundary line. Nice long kick up the wing. Wade Wall from behind. Thumps it away. At the front it's Holt. Takes possession. Tackled. And what does the umpire say there?
Well, because he didn't try and fend him off, Boz, he says it's...
Yeah, you've got it on one, Barch. I thought it was quite a quick whistle. He didn't let the play go very long, but you're dead right about that. As Harper gets it, but only as far there as Lovell. Handball away to Howlett. Good mark, front position. I think that's Penwright. Tremaine. Get those two mixed up. Tremaine kicks to half forward. Using his body well there was Oliver Preshaw. He's onto it. Handball over the top towards Steele. Didn't hit the target. Well done, Liam Jones. Gets away to Seymour by hand out of Smith from the back pocket. And Smith will clear for the Blues.
Blues come away. Hines, that man again, takes the mark on his chest. Again, important mark. He was under all sorts of pressure, Jake Hines. He says, we'll just slow it down here, boys. Little kick over the top. That's pretty good. Finds right. They're up to centre wing now. He just drops one over the top to Seymour. He goes by hand. Got a loose play here on the outer side. That's Denellen. Goes inside 50 now. The good-looking kick for Pitcher. A little bit far. He's got room to run onto this Pitcher. Good tackle coming out.
Yep.
Is rewarded. Critical tackle. Pitcher was going into the open goal, and he was met coming in the opposite direction there by the Clarence player. Can't quite pick up who that is.
Buechner, I think.
Buechner. He's been pretty solid all afternoon. And he brings it out to Steele, who's had nice hands in the air this afternoon, Steele. Missed a couple at ground level, but that was a lovely mark up in the Dukes. But they've messed this up a little bit here, the Roos. They've brought it back into the corridor again. It's cost them. Launceston go forward, but they will be able to mop it up. And they'll come away from their defensive 50, go to the outer side looking for Big Angerstein. Sets him a task that he is a little bit too difficult. And as a result, the ball trickles over the boundary line 70 metres out from goal.
Yeah, and Jones Bealey there didn't quite hit the mark with the kick. But, gee, they've worked overtime in defence, haven't they, Rod? But they've tackled hard.
They have.
And, gee, Lonnie have kicked 12 goals, but they've kicked a heap more against some other teams.
They have. You can see the Clarence defence are getting tired through all that hard work.
Yeah.
So
it could be dangerous if Launceston get a bit of a run on margin-wise. Yep.
Just the one goal for the last quarter to date, but exactly right. One does get the feeling this could be blown wide open late in this game. But the Roos are hanging on desperately at the moment. They're doing a reasonable job. Margin 27 points. Still a chance themselves that they can get a couple of quick goals here. Plenty of time left in this game if they're good enough, the Roos. They take it on from full back. They run a long way and they've run too far. And I think that's a fair call from the umpire. The player bringing it in there, he'd got to probably 30 metres out from goal without taking a bounce and a couple of zigzags along the way. So probably run a good 25 metres, Rob.
I thought he was coming up to see us, Bart. That's how close he was. He certainly took some liberties with his running and no bouncing, that's for sure.
And so Dylan Riley is the recipient of this free kick. Missed one from a similar distance just before three-quarter time. Comes in now. And again, he's got some work to do, but he brings it back, Riley, squeezes it home, and that might be all she wrote here this afternoon at Windsor Park. Margin out to 33 points. Riley has his third. It's 13-8-86. Clarence, 8-5-53.
Those sort of mistakes just kill you, don't they? I mean, we highlighted the 250-metre penalties and something like that. I mean, that's an elementary skill error. He was in two minds when he brought the ball out, and I reckon he ran probably 20-25 metres.
You're right, Rod. They've basically gifted Launceston 3 goals, and we've got a margin at the moment of 33 points. That brings it back well within 3 goals. So, but anyway, that's footy. So learning experience for these young Clarence players. Margin out now to 33 points, 2 goals to 0 as umpire McEntee throws it up in the centre of Windsor Park. Shoveled sideways by Pitcher. Harper can't pick it up. Now Pitcher kick smothered. Up in the air, Angerstein taps it away now to Swinton. The sweeping handball towards Harper. Nice handball back to Swinton. Good work there by the Roos. Out now to Tremaine. Jack Tremaine leans back in a kick to half forward. Barwick, is it? No, it's Penwright. Can't quite take the mark. Penwright lays the tackle now on Woolley. Gets it away to Taylor. Heavy physical contest here in the forward flank for Clarence. Inside 50 for Dave Gruber in this quarter. 9 Launceston, 2 to Clarence. Clearances 7-4 the Blues way. Umpire Thomas McEntee throws it up. Taken by Tartil, might have been caught without it. Seymour tries to get the kick away. Holding the ball against Fletcher Seymour. Free kick, Oscar Paprotny. 2 kicks out from goal. Right in front of us here in the commentary position. He's going to go deep as Paprotny. Jacob Steele's the only one there for Clarence. Can't take the mark, does the spoil though. Tackle laid there on right. Comes out, still a chance for the Roos. Is that a push in the back? No, it's not. And yes, it is. So the non-officiating umpire has come in and said that was a push in the back. Umpire McEntee, and it's going to Jacques Barwick. Fair call, I think.
Probably a fair call. It's interesting that the non-officiating umpire overrules the umpire who's in a good position, but as you say, probably a fair call, Dave.
So Jacques Barwick has kicked the 1 goal today, early in the third quarter, in the first couple of minutes. That little run that the Roos had at the start of the second half. Right in front, 25 out. No excuses here for Jacques Barwick. And he goals. So it brings them a little bit closer to the Roos. They're first of the last quarter. 9-5-59, 13-8-86. Margin 27 points.
Back to a 27-point margin. Plenty of time left in this game yet. 14 minutes gone. So we've still got a good 10, 12 minutes of football to go. They can get another quick one here, the Roos. They'll still give themselves a chance, but they've got an uphill battle in front of them. Critical they finish this game off well. They've been good all afternoon, Foz. That they deserve to, get a good finish here this afternoon and go home with their heads held high.
They've battled hard, and these two could meet in the finals, and it just gives them a little bit of hope that they can match it with the best, especially with some of those players that we mentioned that are out of the team at the moment, through suspension especially. And we've got a free kick in the middle of the ground. It's going to go the Roos' way. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs statewide, talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61.
Harper has it, comes away from the centre square, goes looking for Tremaine again. Harper, the Blues, takes it, feeds it back to Jones. He goes with a little left foot kick. It's not bad. Blackberry called his teammate Tuthill back to take the mark overhead. So Tuthill from centre wing just says, let's quieten down a little bit, boys. Going to go long down the line. Riley's pushed up the ground. Riley to fly for this mark. Couldn't complete it. At the ground was Paprotny. Got to Burgess. He gave a little handball out to Buchner. He went round the corner. Harper dropped the mark. Spills to Howlett. Threw it out, did Howlett to Tremaine. He in turn threw it out, but they come away. Preshaw to an open forward line. Wall to go back and make a contest. House dropped the mark. Comes away now to the Blues. Defence. Kick up to centre wing again. Who's there at the fall of the ball? Howlett is. Howlett pressured. Can he get out to Paprotny? Intercepting it. There was Seymour. Kicks up to half forward. Ball on the ground. Green with some work to do. He's got Donnellan for company. Spills now to that man, Riley. Riley runs the 30 metres out. Drop punt on its way, Dylan Riley. He's put it through, and that's the ball game, folks. The Blues will come away from this one winners. Dylan Riley's kicked his 4th. Puts the margin back out to 33 points, and well done, Dylan Riley.
It's what you said, Rob, isn't it? Like, you think he's having a so-so day, Dylan Riley, but hey, he's kicked 4 goals and might have kicked a couple more.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, if we had the ears in the Clarence huddle, I reckon Webley would have said to Buchner, you've done a good job on him, you've played him nice and tight. All of a sudden, he just crops up, and he's a quality player. And I think, as you've highlighted, Dave, he's almost, more than doubled the next leading goal scorer in the league.
And that's been a big part today. I mean, Buchner on Riley, we've had Garland on Thorpe. They've been really good battles.
They've been great battles.
As we're back in the middle of Windsor Park, out come the Roos through Wade Wall, kicks towards half forward. That's almost a good mark there to Barwick. Penwright, I was getting those mixed up. Jones has got it, coughs it up though to Preshaw. Back to Webley, little kick. Wall, and Tremaine launches on goal. He misses to the right-hand side. 9-6-60 Clarence. Launceston at 14-8-92.
Boys bring it back into play. Braden Pitcher doing the kicking in duties. Goes short to Hines. Hines has it. Goes over the top to right. It's Miller Hodge, in fact. He can run. Brings it back in now to that man right. Had Blackberry alongside him. Goes further. Mark's taken by Taylor there, going back with the ball. No, it's Seymour it is. He goes through a bit of trouble here, Seymour. Played on. Had 3 opponents around him. Had time to go back to right. And his kick is a good one. The Blues can go forward now. They're inside 50. Kick over the top. That works pretty well. Donnellan it is. Left foot kick. He's got a man all by himself in pole from 20 metres out, straight in front. And that was a little bit too easy, that one, Rob.
It was a little bit too easy, and again, I highlighted Paul Freeman's have done a great job today, I think, on Webley. Really restricted him, but Webley nowhere in the photo there. When two-way running, we know modern game is crucial.
So the margin stands as we speak at 32 points. We've ticked over 18 minutes in the last quarter, so it's all just academic now. This to extend that margin to 38 points and make it a pretty comfortable one for the home team. In he comes Paul Freeman. Kick looks pretty good. Slams into the woodwork. Hit that with some real force. That post, that will have a headache tomorrow. That's feeling it, Rob.
They'll be sending that down to the Mast repair place, I reckon, after the game.
Well, I'm worried about concussion. Will they replace it for next week?
Oh, he's got another chance here, Paul Freeman.
He'll kick from the same spot if he wants to, Foz.
Like the old primary school stuff, isn't it? He's, you miss it, you get another go. Here we go.
Gives it off to Smith. He goes bang from 45, Jake Smith. And that is straight through the middle. That margin now out to 39. It's 15-9-99, leading Clarence 9-6-60. Pretty comfortable margin now, Rob.
Yeah, it is. And again, we've talked about the quality across this Launceston team. You keep a couple of their better players quiet and other players just step up. I mean, Jake Smith's been really, really good today, and smart enough to run and get that ball, and with his leg, great shot on goal from 45 metres.
Round the ground to the TSL, and about 20-minute mark of the last quarter. North Launceston 11-9-75, Tigers 6-10-46, and at North Hobart, it's a bit of a comeback from North Hobart, so they only trail now by 20 points, 13-11 to 11-3.
Free kick out of the middle, go the way of the Roos.
And it's going to go to that man, Jeremy Webley. Gets a lot of calls from teammates. Gets the handball away. Beerley. Kick here towards the pocket. Mark taken by Penwright. Been lively today, Tyler Penwright. Kick had to be good, and it was. Mark taken by Colby Whitelaw. Back in the centre of the ground. It's risky. They've got the numbers, though, Clarence, if they can work it out here. This way, that away. Beerley does it pretty well in the end out here to Buchner. They maintain possession. Zach Buchner tries to spot up a teammate. Oh, gives it straight there to Nellen, who's met there by Luke Swinton. And it's on. Swinton's pushed over. Launceston players not happy. And we've got a melee here at Windsor Park.
Could get a little bit ugly here, Foz. They're going in pretty willingly.
And I don't know what happened to Jack Nellen. I think it was the player who went for the mark. But there's a few wrestles on, left, right and centre. It's getting pretty willing. Players just better watch themselves in this dying minutes of the game.
Certainly nothing to be gained from it. You're up by 40 points, 5 minutes or so to go.
Certainly Luke Swinton went on hard there.
They've been given the 50. Umpire's taking the ball forward now.
So do we play on? Barch take it.
Not a lot of players inside the forward 50 here. It's an open forward line. It's one way to keep your forward line open. That's inside a melee. 20 players involved in the melee on the outer wing. We've got about 6 pairs of players inside the forward 50. Pitch is one of those players. He has it 45 metres out. Just lobs a high ball to the square. Who's there at the ground level? Falls back to Pitcher now. Overran the ball. Howlett goes in. Tries to get a kick away. Can't do that. Meanwhile, players still remonstrating on the outer side. We'll have a ball up 30 metres out from the Blues' goal. Dying minutes of this game. 22 minutes ticked over now. I think tempers have eased and we can get back to the football. Angerstein won it down to Green. Green hurried a kick that will only go as far as Liam Jones. He'll take the mark on the point of the square. Slightly more crowded forward 50 now. That melee is cleared. So Jones goes long, looking for Pitcher. Couldn't take the mark. Players are tackled now. The umpire's blowing the whistle just as the football came out. So we'll go back and we'll have a ball up 20 metres out from goal. Well, they could ill afford to lose a couple more, Rob. They've had several of their players. I think they were all one-match bans that they copped last week, Green, Bailey and co. So I think they were all one match. They'll be back next week, but they don't want to be losing other players for real discipline, particularly when the game now is beyond doubt.
Oh, swing tackle. Riley free kick. It's on again.
Well, he was. I did notice a moment ago when the ball went in the Launceston 50. Riley was back at half back.
He likes to scrap Dylan Riley. That's still going on. It could be reversed here. I think we're going to get a reversal.
Dylan Riley's taking the football and said, I'll go in and kick the goal.
No, just a moment. I'm not sure what's going to happen here.
I think the all clear's been given, so Riley's goal will stand.
Okay.
Played like a true forward as well. He just kept going, didn't he? He's launched that. That's almost ended up on the West Homer Highway, that one.
So that's his 5th goal for the afternoon. So as we said, Riley's been quietish, and he still comes away with 5. That's his season average.
3 in the last quarter, Bart.
3 in the last quarter. So he's put an exclamation mark on this victory, really, for the Blues. So he's averaged more than 5 goals a game. He keeps an average intact, and all of a sudden now this scoreboard looks pretty comfortable. It's 16-9, 105, leading Clarence 9-6, 60.
45-point margin. A lot of adrenaline flowing in the veins of the players at the moment. Seen a few scraps. So Clarence have given their all in today, but the margin is just eked out at 45 points, which Jeremy Webley wouldn't be that happy with, I don't think. For full time in the AFL, I'll get to in a second. Out it comes to Blackberry. Right foot, kicks to the wing. High kick. Players fall over. Taken here by Brown. Handball sideways, a nice one to lead him in towards the forward 50. Riley in there, the contest with Buchner. Good contest today between those two. It's out of bounds. So North Melbourne have defeated the Suns by 9 points, and the Dockers have defeated Collingwood by 12 points.
Going to be interesting to see where the votes go this afternoon, folks.
Yep.
I think there's one man, Hines, to me, has been very good. Outside of that, been a pretty even spread.
Yep, very interesting. Boundary throw in.
A lot of pressure at the moment over here, Barch, I can tell you.
Out towards half-back as Jamison House takes it. Releases the handball to lead him. Taken away by Preshaw. Whistle back on play. Holding free kick. It's going to go to Hamish Leadham. He's 2 kicks out from goal as the sun starts to set here at Windsor Park. Don't forget, more sporting action tonight here on City Park Radio from 6:15. The Tornadoes versus the Braves. Big top 4 clash, NBL1 South. Leadham kicks to full forward. Spills towards the boundary. Taylor. Snap on goal. Brendan Taylor. Oh, that's a beauty. From the boundary line, Brendan Taylor. He usually pops up for a goal or 2 a week, and that is an absolute classic. Left foot snap from the boundary line.
Goal of the year contender.
Yeah, fantastic shot on goal. And again, it just adds to what we've been saying all year about Launceston. They just find their goals in so many different ways, don't they? With so many different contributors. And it's a great goal from Brendan Taylor.
And they've been accurate too, particularly since quarter time. So they kicked 2-3 to quarter time. Since then, they've kicked 15-6.
Yeah, they've certainly made the most of their opportunities, and good sides do that. And Clarence will be ruining, I think. The margin certainly doesn't belie the closeness of the contest.
Yeah, I guess the other thing too that has helped Clarence is having that breeze. Probably when you look back, they should have been a goal maybe further ahead at quarter time.
Yes.
Kicked another one in the third, but anyhow, that's what we've got. Play restarts. Angus Stein won it down. Blackberry first back onto the ball. Has a little bit of space played, Jay Blackberry. Kicks to the outer flank. Diving towards the ball and unable to keep it in front was the Clarence defender. As a result, the Blues come inside. Kicks a little bit too strong. Over the back there is Buchner. Gives a handball back. They maintain position here. Got a bit of work to do. Oh. Swinton just says, well, there's the boundary line. I'll take that, thank you. Or he might do a place kick. Brilliant kick there from Swinton. Send him to the NRL. Put that in the end zone.
That stopped like a pitching wedge, didn't it, that one?
Yeah, it was absolutely perfectly measured from Swinton. Looked a little bit ambitious, but worked it well.
16 inside, 50-5 in this quarter, Batch.
Avalanche. The Blues, when they've been challenged, they almost sort of take offence to it and say, how dare you? We'll just show you who is still the team to beat in this competition. Meanwhile, play restarts. Hines on the ball. 20 metres out from goal is dangerous. Hines tackled. Got a handball out to Riley. Riley around the body. Touched off the boot. It was through the big sticks, but it was touched off the boot. No arc here at Windsor Park, so that will stand. And they extend that margin to the solitary point, so it's out to 52 points. Very late now here. Sun's set. No shadows anymore. Dying moments. Kick in is pretty good. Spearing kick finds Holmes on the chest. Had to get down low. Took it cleanly. He goes over the top. That kick is pretty good as well. That finds Cowie there. Kicked a wonderful goal earlier this afternoon. All of a sudden they're in a bit of trouble here though, the Roos. Have to get out of it by hand. Ends up with Swinton. He couldn't actually get a hand on it. Went to Blackberry. He goes over the top to Pitcher. Pitcher unselfishly over the top to Riley. He runs in. He's kicked 4 in the last, Riley. He's kicked 6 this afternoon. It's getting a little bit ugly here now all of a sudden. And that margin, I almost don't believe what I'm seeing. It's out to 58 points. 18-10-118. Leading Clarence 9-6-60.
7 goals to run the last quarter, Rob.
And again, when the listeners will be looking at hearing the numbers at the end of the game and they hear that Riley's kicked 6, I think, gee, he hasn't had a day out, but the last quarter, he certainly stepped up with the mark. And we did say, didn't we? We were worried a little bit about how tired the Clarence defenders might be.
And he's after 100 goals this year, and he's on 57, and just over halfway through the season, so he's pretty much on target. They'll have a big clash in a couple of weeks here against North Launceston. We look forward to that one. It's going to be huge. In the middle, Angustina unopposed. Gets down to Webley. Goes again, the big fella. Harper hits up Barwick. 2 kicks out from goal. Can they get a late goal here, the Roos? Open forward line. Goes long, looking for Penwright up against Jones. Jones does well. Penwright, recovery. Jamison House is in there. He almost kicks an own point. And 3 from behind. 9-7-61. It's 18-10-118.
Real classic work from the defender there, didn't he? He's put that one through.
Josh Woolley, low kicks, Bealty, finds Holt, halfback. Elite skills there from Woolley. Thorpe charges at the ball. Look out, anybody in his way. Somebody's down injured there in that contest for Clarence. Now to Holt. Releases Blackberry, long handball to a tired Brown, who picks it up, kicks it a half forward. Holfiman over the top. Hines goes himself for goal and scores another one for the Blues. Jake Hines, 3 goals, I think that is, Barch.
3 goals for the afternoon, Jake Hines, and probably, he'd have 35 touches nearly, I reckon, Foz. Been dominant.
19-10-124, 63 points the margin. And it's 8 goals 3 to 1 goal 2 in this last quarter.
I had to smile there. I'm not sure whether you picked it up. Young Tremaine, Cody Thorpe absolutely steamrolled him. Yeah, Tremaine got up and was going to remonstrate. Saw it was Cody Thorpe and just thought better of it.
He did. A wise move. And I did know too, Riley was all alone in the goal square there when Hines had that shot too. So you might have a talk to him in the dressing rooms after the game.
Well, what do we cross there in the time, Rob? You can see there on the
30 minutes, over 30 minutes gone.
As soon as the hand touches it, I reckon that'll be it. No.
All right. They've kicked a couple of late goals in a couple of quarters, actually, the Blues. So over 30 minutes gone here. Late goings. It's been an avalanche in this last quarter. Harper looks like he's hurt his elbow in the foreground here. In the meantime, play goes on. Tackle late. Free kick will go the way of Launceston. And they'll go forward once more. Can they put another one on the board here? It's a 63-point margin as we speak. Kick over the top, finds Smith on the chest. Could have kept running, said no, I'll just stop and go back. Jake Smith goes very short to Jay Blackberry. That's just the 15 metres based on what we've seen this afternoon. Blackberry goes around, uses that stand rule to his advantage. Finds a man in the pocket, that's Braden Pitcher. Takes an uncontested mark deep in the forward pocket, 30 metres around from goal. So Pitcher, he's kicked, hasn't hit the scoreboard this afternoon. Pitcher, he's been lively. He's certainly been a contributor. And he was going to go around the corner. He'll have to go back now with the drop punt. Siren's gone. So as we stand now, it's a 63-point margin. So Launceston will win this by in excess of 10 goals. Can they add to that 63-point margin will depend on this shot from Braden Pitcher. He's deep in the pocket. Wonderful afternoon for the home side. They were challenged at various stages this afternoon, but in the end, they've come away with a very, very comfortable victory against a fractionally undermanned Clarence team. But for 3 quarters, they were very good, Clarence. Pitcher to come in now. Last kick of the afternoon. Braden Pitcher is on its way. Looks pretty good. What a wonderful finish. Braden Pitcher has his first. Launceston have their 20th goal of the afternoon. They'll run out 69-point winners, 20 goals, 10, 130. They defeat Clarence by 69 points. Clarence 9-7-61. Wonderful victory for Launceston.
Fantastic last quarter from Launceston. You know, we said, didn't we, Clarence had to come out and have all guns blazing, but certainly the Blues.
They've scored nearly 60 points in that last quarter, Rob. It was 73 to 53 at 3-quarter time. they're blowing them away.
9 goals to 1. And, Launceston have shown Mitch Thorpe challenged them, and that's what champions do, don't they? They rise to the challenge. And the thing that really impressed me, Barch, was the spread across the team. I mean, Pitcher is a really clever player. Had a great last quarter and capped it off with a terrific goal.
Yes, so I'm looking at the goal kicks now this afternoon. Dylan Riley had 2 to 3 quarter time. He ended up with 6 majors. Jake Hines, who was brilliant all afternoon, probably for me, I think clearly the best player on the ground. He kicked 3. Jay Blackberry 2. Jake Smith 2. Singles to Tuthill, Fletcher Seymour, Miller Hodge. Taylor kicked away in the last. Cody Thorpe. That goal then from Pitcher after the siren, and Jake Denellen. Meanwhile for the Roos, Barwick kicked a couple. Harper kicked a couple in the first half. Singles to Preshaw, Jack that is, Angerstein, Penwright, Tremaine and Cowie.
Great win there by the Blues, and finishing off their work. We've got Tony Webb out there who'll try and get a grab there with Jake Hines in just a moment. I'll quickly go through the team stats. Thanks to Dave Gruber, who does a great job each and every week here for City Park Radio. We'll do the 3, 2 and 1 very quickly because we're going to go away to Elfin Sports Centre. But Rob is hovering there with Jake Hines, so we might just get down to Tony. Tony, you've got Jake Hines with you. Take it away, Tony. Got you, Tony.
You can hear the Launceston boys are celebrating Jake Hines being called over to the microphone. Congratulations, Jake. Great game.
Thank you very much. It was a very good contest, that's for sure.
It was. At half time, the Clarence boys came out and said, no, we're impossible here for competitive results.
Yep.
You ran away in the last quarter. I think Dylan kicked about 4.
Yep.
You had a bit of a field day yourself. You kicked 3, mid-30s for the possession count.
Yep, yeah. No, it went all right. Credit to Clarence. We definitely rate them. So we knew it was going to be a tough contest for them coming up here, and they put it to us early, but credit to our boys. We backed in our system and our structures and ran away with it in the last quarter there. So.
Yeah, and you get a few players back in Fletcher Seymour, JB Harper, obviously.
Yeah.
A big difference too.
Yeah, definitely. They're big time players for us. Obviously, part of that premiership team last year, and just that a bit of older, like they're a bit older, so the leadership on the ground and structurally setting us up, they're very handy to have back on the field for the boys. So it's been good having them back.
It has. A great effort. I won't hold it up any longer. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much, mate.
And good luck this week, and catch you here when you play North Launceston.
Yep, we'll do. Awesome. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
That's Tony Webb there with Jake Hines, and thanks to Tony for his work on the boundary today. Fantastic as usual. I'll quickly do the team stats, and then we'll get to Rob's 3, 2 and 1. Hit-outs today, it was really even all day. Great battle on the ruck. Launceston 43 to Clarence 42. So Ollie Angerstein, certainly a great foe there for Gronawagon, and also lead him there in the ruck. Clearances, 38 Launceston, 32 to Clarence. Inside 50s, Launceston had a whopping 18 in that last quarter, and they finished today winning that stat 51 to 31 with the inside 50s. 20 marks inside 50s, that's as much as I've seen for a while here in TSL footy. So Launceston 20 marks inside 50, and Clarence just had the 2 marks inside 50 for the day, Barge.
Remarkable. Yep. They were efficient on the ground.
They were, yep. Most of their games through quick entries for the Clarence boys. Free kicks, 28 to Clarence, 21 to Launceston. Rob Soward, your 3, 2 and 1, please.
Thanks very much, Dave. And I know that we know that Maxie and Matty McGee will be listening, so I'm going to do a little bit of a build-up to this very quickly. I'd just like to mention some of Clarence's best players first. I thought James Barwick and Tyler Penwright were great for them going forward. A couple of goals there. Preshaw was busy all day. Jared Harper busy around the middle. I wanted to just single out to Ollie Angerstein. I thought he was terrific all day. Very, very good when he went into the ruck. For Launceston, I thought Joe Gronawagon was terrific. Took some telling marks around the ground at key times. Miller Hodge, very good 4-quarter effort from him. Brodie Palfreyman did a very, very good job on Jeremy Webley, and kicked a goal himself later in the game. And I thought Jake Smith, a really, really good 4-quarter player. But our 3, 2 and 1 today, I gave 1 vote to Fletcher Seymour, who I thought kicked a goal, did some really, really good stuff across all 4 quarters, and was instrumental in setting Launceston up for scoring opportunities. 2 to Jay Blackberry, again, the league games record holder, terrific 4-quarter effort from him. And 3 to Jake Hines, who once again showed what a quality player he is. Busy all day, always there, making space, creating opportunities. I'll quickly also mention Dylan Riley. I mean, you get 6 goals and you don't get a mention, it's pretty stiff. But the ability with someone like Riley, he just makes you pay. I mean, six goals is a great effort. but a very, very busy last quarter for him. But the opportunities were created further up the ground. So 1 vote Fletcher Seymour, 2 votes Jay Blackberry and 3 votes Jake Hines.
Good work, Rob Soward, and some worthy vote winners there. Just some other scores at late in the game. I think it's all over, in fact, at UTAS Stadium. North Launceston 13-10-88 defeated the Tigers 7-10-52. And at North Hobart, it was Glenorchy 14-11-95 defeating North Hobart 11-4-70. In the Sartis Grand Final, looking at the stream here, GYC 84 leads Scotch 50. And earlier today, St Pat's beat Hutchins there in the seconds final. That about brings us to an end of our coverage here. Thanks to Mike, our cameraman today. Thanks to Ash, who's been coordinating the stream. Thanks to Chris Ball in the City Park Radio studios for getting us to air. Thank you very much, Chris, and we'll be working with you again this evening at the Tornadoes game. Thanks, Rob. Thanks very much, Dave. Always a pleasure and a great game. Forget the scoreboard. Yep. Really great contest. Good game of footy. Barch, safe trips back down south.
Thanks, Foz. As Rob said, wonderful afternoon, and the 2 top teams stamping their authority on the competition. Absolutely. And thanks to Dave Gruber, our stats man. Good luck with the Hawks tomorrow, groups. Thumbs up. And thanks to Tony on the boundary there. He's done a great job as well. That's all from us here at City Park Radio. Don't forget, City Park Radio Sport this evening. We've got Launceston Tornadoes versus the Bendigo Braves coming up from 6:15. But as far as TSL footy is concerned, it's goodbye from Windsor Park with the final score. Launceston 20-10-130 defeated Clarence 9-7-61.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas.
Good work. Yes, thanks, mate. I'll put that in the file. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
No worries.
Thank you. Sorry about a little drama, but we got there in the end.
Got there in the end, yeah.
No worries. There's nothing like a day of drama, is there?
Did you have to swap cameras there?
Yeah, I couldn't get my menu up.
Okay.
So there and the man came to the rescue. Beautiful, mate. Thank you very much. Good job, mate. Well done.